friends. The coaching circle indeed goes round, and there's a case in point today, the two men that will be working on opposite sidelines. In 1968, under Ohio State's Woody Hayes, upper left, the Buckeyes went 10-0. They were the last Big Ten team to win the national championship. And Lou Holtz, in his early 30s, was the defensive backfield coach, and Bill Mallory, now with Indiana, was the defensive line coach. And here they are today, both with great respect for one another. And indeed, that coaching circle goes round and round. And I have a feeling, though, Walsh, philosophically, that these two men still have a lot of Woody Hayes inside them.
Well, they were young guys. They grounded their fundamentals, their philosophy through Woody Hayes. The battle of attrition. Good, sound, solid football. Run it. Good execution. Play defense. Look for errors on the part of the opponent. Wear them down. Make little mistakes.
But basically, if you were going to scout either team, first game of the year, you're going to figure they're going to run the football.
They're going to run it. I think the team that passes well, even 2 or 3 completions, may be the winner. But both teams are going to come in, run, establish it, but look at their defenses, because, Dick, these defenses are young. They're smallish defenses. They had better tackle.
Well, let's talk about Indiana. They're 18-point underdogs, but they bring into this Notre Dame stadium number 26, Vaughn Dunbar. Some rate him the best running back in all of college football this year.
He's rated right at the top. He's smallish. He's like a Wilbert Montgomery, formerly with the Philadelphia Eagles. He's quick. He has durability. He can sustain himself. He makes people miss. But what a test today on this surface, this natural surface, against an inspired Notre Dame defense.
So we'll see Indiana and Ohio State run today, but right now let's pass it back to Ahmad Rashad.
All right, Dick, a very young-looking 39, I must say. Now, one of the many traditions here at Notre Dame is the Friday night pep rally. Last night, I attended along with 8,000 other people who showed up for the traditional festivities. College songs of all time, the Notre Dame Victory March. You know, it was first performed by the Notre Dame Band in 1908. 83 years later, it still brings the crowd to its feet. Now, in every single town, every high school has this song. I knew what it was before I knew the name of it. Now I know it's the Notre Dame fight song, and here is the band to take it away.
Ultragain.
Lucky for me, I got this green thumb.
Lucky for him, I've got this little scoop.
Ultragain's concentrated power gets clothes so clean, they'll smell like they were dried in the sunshine.
I know he lives for his work. Now I can live with him.
New Ultragain, the clean you can tell by the sunshine smell.
Yeah.
The divorce hurt me, emotionally and financially. I still had my house and a good job, but I was having trouble getting a home equity loan. Fortunately, Federal Home Equity was there to help.
We thought we had security. 2 jobs and our own house, but a health problem put us behind on our bills.
Thanks to Federal Home Equity, we consolidated our debts with a home equity loan.
If you're a homeowner and need money for any reason, call Federal Home Equity, where good things happen to good people.
This Wednesday's Lotto jackpot has an estimated annuity of $6 million for a single winner. It could be you.
Body Part Models, the story on Entertainment Tonight.
I wonder if you'll forgive me for skipping around a bit, but sometimes information comes to one in disjointed ways. Lynn said that her son was still in the cult. Is that correct? And
yes.
you also, do you want me to say this or do you want to say this? He had his 17th birthday last week.
Yeah. And I just hope he sees it and sees the lies that they're telling him and teaching him. The hurt that's there. All I wanted for him was him to live. I didn't want him to die.
So that's why. He raped you?
Yes.
You got pregnant?
Yes.
And that's the last miscarriage?
Yes.
Okay. Let me jump back to Penn. We asked ourselves, how does somebody, if they have 10 children, 9 of them are still there? I think part of what happened to Penn happened because she met this man. His name is Moses. Tell me about that, Moses.
This is, I'm a photographer, and Penn and I met when I was photographing her and a group of...
Building as both teams about to enter the stadium out of the locker rooms. You've been there as a head coach at Stanford, as an assistant at Cal and San Jose State. How are the coaches evaluating what they have at this point?
Well, everybody's optimistic. Everyone's confident. There's some concerns, but I remember a Stanford-Oklahoma opener, much like Bill Mallory's going through today, because you think you have a chance, but you know you have to get the job done right. And there'll be voids that show up. You'll be disappointed with given players. Others may become legends at some point. A lot of unknowns, Dick.
So some of the players in practice, you think, oh, this kid's going to be great, disappoint you. Others really surprise you. How about the emotions? How do you try to use those to your maximum as we see Notre Dame heading down that traditional path, touching the play like a champion today, part of the tradition here? How do you channel those emotions positively today as a head coach?
Channel the emotions. That's a good point, because you can almost become hysterical, so fired up, so intense to play well, and usually it shows up in missed tackles, Dick. So both clubs, a lot of younger players, they're going to have to perform well, but tackle well, really to make a game of it.
The visitors from Indiana take the field. Cream and Crimson have been to a bowl game for the past 5 years. Mallory has brought respectability to the football program of Indiana. First man who called him when the job was open was Bob Knight, the basketball coach at IU. They're close friends. And now, Notre Dame, 1991. Lou Holtz brings his 6th Irish team on the field. Joining us with his sideline reports for this 91 season at Notre Dame, let's go down to John Dockery.
And Dick, I was just wondering what it would be like to be an Indiana Hoosier at this moment. A packed crowd here at Notre Dame Stadium, a hostile crowd. You're a huge underdog. It's opening day in a game that you probably only dared to dream about, and one that hasn't been played in 33 years. You're excited and you're scared at the same time. You try not to think about all the great ones that have been here before you. The Rockneys, the Bertellis, the Lou Jacks, the Hanratties, the Montanas, all the great ones. You try to remember what the coach just told you in the locker room. He said, hey, you've sweated, you've toiled, you paid the price, you deserve a reward. And you can beat Notre Dame today if you play at the top of the game. But Dick, if you're an Indiana Hoosier, boy, is it hard to forget the name and just play the game. It's the Hoosiers versus the Irish. Opening day, a perfect afternoon, Dick.
All right, Doc. The seniors on the Indiana team created that T-shirt after Indiana lost a close game in the bowls last year, the Peach Bowl, to Clemson. They came back to the locker room and, after catching their motion, said, Notre Dame, let's get ready for Notre Dame, and started chanting Notre Dame. That goes way back to the end of last year. Bill Mallory's team thinking about the opportunity of this moment in the same state to beat a team that has cast such a giant football shadow not only over Hoosier land but throughout the nation. Indiana will kick off. Notre Dame has elected to receive. Rick Meyer and the Irish offense will have their opportunity in a moment. Indiana's won once since 1907. Irish dominating after in the early years, the late 1800s, early 1900s, it was Indiana holding their own. To kick off for Indiana is Scott Bunnell with Clint Johnson, a speedster, replacing Rocket Ismail to return it. End over end toward the sidelines and out of bounds. Oh, the Hoosiers will be penalized 5 yards and will kick it over.
Well, the Hoosiers feel they can play Notre Dame after playing so well against Auburn in the Peach Bowl. The last play of the game, Auburn pulled it out, but Auburn to Indiana is much in the same class as Notre Dame. They played well there. They think that's the first step toward returning Indiana right to at least to the upper levels of the Big Ten.
They're going to take the ball at the 35-yard line on the kick out of bounds, and here comes Meyer in to conduct the Notre Dame offense. The offense is going to score points as well they did last year. This is a veteran offense with a big offensive line. They don't have the speed of Ismail, but they have talented receivers, and that man in motion, tight end Derek Brown, as good as anyone in college football. The give is to Rodney Culver, and Culver slams out to the 42. A look at the Notre Dame starting offense. The offensive line, Knapp, Taylor, McGuire, Jurkovich, and Hall. They average well over 280. Meyer, the quarterback, two big, powerful backs in Bettis and Culver, both from Detroit, Michigan. Lake Dawson and Tony Smith on the outside, and Derek Brown, the tight end. Ray Griggs, number 14, has just gone in at split end for the Irish on 2nd down and 4. And it's Culver again, stopped shy of the first down at the 44-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 1. Mark Hagan, credit him with a tackle. He's the Hoosiers' leading tackler the last 2 years. The Hoosiers on defense read this way: McCormick, McDaniel, Bamba, and Farrell, the front four. Williams will play both middle linebacker and move up as a nose guard. Hagan and Miller on the outside. Defensive backs, Mose Richardson and Mike Middleton at the corners. Summerall and Brown at safety. Lance Brown replaces all Big Ten performer Mike Dumas.
Dick, this is a totally new Indiana defense. Notre Dame has not seen this defense. Indiana now is playing a 4-man line, rushing 4 people on every down, an even front, with Washington playing either a nose guard or backing up. And in visiting with the Notre Dame coaches, they had no inkling they were going to get this defense. So it'll be interesting to see how they deal with it.
You saw Hervin McCormick, the defensive tackle from Brooklyn, limp off. Larry McDaniel replaces him. On 3rd and 1, it's Brooks trying to center the line, and I don't believe he made the first down. The Hoosiers across the way, jumping with that defensive surge led by Larry McDaniel, a junior from St. Louis, Missouri, as McCormick receives some attention along the sidelines. We'll get a report on that as soon as available. The ball must be touching the 45-yard line for a first down. It's 4th down and inches, and Lou Holtz, not want to gamble this early in the game, brings on the punting team.
That's Woody Hayes football. It's percentage football, and at this point, certainly it's a good decision. This Indiana defense is very small, very quick.
Scott McCowan is deep. You look at Hendrick's numbers last year, averaged nearly 45 yards a punt. Unfortunately for him, Notre Dame doesn't punt the ball enough for him to qualify in the national listings. A penalty flag goes down on delay of game, and Hendrick will have to kick from 5 yards further back. So that takes any mystery out of a possible early fake from Lou Holtz.
Very typical first game. That punt team a little slow getting out. Some guys almost being in a state of shock. Younger players. First time they take the field for Notre Dame.
McGowan, a junior from Indianapolis, back at the Hoosier 15-yard line. Hendrick roots out a driving spiral. Oh, my! Into the end zone for the touchback. Indiana will start from the 20 after a 61-yard punt, 41 on the net for Craig Hendrick. And here comes Trent Drain, the Indiana quarterback from St. Louis, Missouri. And his offense will line up in this order. From tackle to tackle, Harper, Smith, Mack, Newton, and Schneider. Mack and Schneider play their high school ball in northern Indiana. They're coming home. Todd Walker's a converted tight end at fullback in front of Vaughn Dunbar. Rushed for over 1,200 last year. Lewis and Beatty, two young, fast outside men. Rod Coleman, the tight end. Demetrius DeBose with a tackle. DeBose 31, and Flanagan, whose dad played for Green Bay, also linebacker number 44. Irish defense. Bryant Young Jr., Bryant Eric Jones, very young up front and small. Peterson, McDonald on the outside, DeBose and Flanagan inside, with a back four of Smith, Carter, Davis, and Burroughs. That was the Achilles heel of Notre Dame's defense last year. Holtz feels they'll be much stronger this year. Misdirection, Green to throw, wide open, the tight end, and out to the 38-yard line goes Rod Coleman. First down, Indiana.
Indiana substituted Eddie Thomas, a third wide receiver. Notre Dame made no adjustment. This will be a problem for Notre Dame. A very static defense. This play fake brings the quarterback outside, and Trent Green has got a tight end totally uncovered. Totally uncovered. So this is where the solution can be. Trent Green throwing opportunistically, and of course Dunbar hammering it in there.
Ball spotted at the 37. Green incomplete. Well covered. DeBose in front of Eddie Thomas, the intended receiver. Bill Mallory, in his 8th year, he played at Miami of Ohio for Ara Parsegian 3 years. Of course, then Parsegian later in his career, brilliant in his head coaching role here at Notre Dame.
Indiana has totally revamped their pass offense, and as they should. Last year they were dismal, just awful, and they've spent all of their time on it. There are a lot of different reads, different formations, and that's going to have to make a difference today.
Saw Devon McDonald, a little late hit on Green. Dunbar trying to get outside. Makes 3 before Flanagan can chase him down. Did most of it on his own. Dunbar started wearing that face shield after being poked in the eye in spring practice. Averaged nearly 5 yards a carry last year, 13 touchdowns rushing.
At this point, Dunbar is demonstrating the quickness, the instincts, just a couple of carries. He's really quick, a lot quicker than I thought, Dick. The problem will be these Notre Dame guys are so physical, so physical.
Irish rushing only 3 men. And Green throws it. First down to the tight end at the 50. Rod Coleman has his second catch. He had 9 all of last year. 11 yards on the play.
Now that's good pass protection. Notre Dame again hasn't practiced against the pass that much, and so the pass protection was there and the timing was there. And Trent Green, discussing with us prior to the game up in Bloomington, he wants to throw the ball, and he could very well be a key. Dunbar will be stopped from a sense of dominating a game, but the passing attack can't make a difference.
Play action to Dunbar. Green then throws to this side to Coleman, and right there was Tom Carter. A flag is down in the secondary of the Irish.
Now the Irish are going to play a 2-deep defense. Both corners will be in a short zone, and they'll take care of those delayed crossing patterns pretty well.
Irvin McCormick, the starting tackle, Indiana, injured. Let's go to Doc and get a report.
Thank you, Dick. I just talked to trainer Kip Smith, and he told me Irvin McCormick on the sidelines on the bench here, as you see him, with an ice pack on his knee wrapped in an ace bandage. The word is that it is sprained. They don't know how bad it is. They're going to ice it. They're going to see how he feels. There's a chance he might be back. Up to you.
McCormick, who played his high school ball on Staten Island, he said the toughest part of practice was getting there. It was a 4-hour round trip from his home in Brooklyn, took the ferry to play in a high school on Staten Island. Sophomore for the Hoosiers. Indiana guilty of an ineligible man downfield, and so the penalty marked back to the 44-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 15.
It's such a shock when you finally play somebody after scrimmaging yourself, identifying the plays in inter-squad games, but this is just enough new that it'll take some adapting between series for the Notre Dame defense.
The center, Jason Mack, started a motion backward with the snap, and that draws an offside call against Indiana.
Well, the game plan's good, Dick, I'll tell you that. Throwing the ball, getting those first downs.
Technically, the procedure call, as the ball was not snapped, another -5. It'll be 1st down and 20, Indiana, at their 39-yard line.
Illegal snap.
False start. Against the offense. First down.
Well, these teams both have planned for this game. Of all the games of the year, other than a bowl game, they have a lot of opportunity to research, scout, plan through the spring, through the early fall, all the practice sessions. They like to think they know each other well.
Green protected well over the middle, incomplete. Eddie Thomas, the intended target. DuBose was there for Notre Dame.
DuBose was right on top of Thomas. Now, Thomas will come in the game as a third receiver, and he will cross over the middle, play in a sort of a slot back spot. Notre Dame will not substitute on defense, regardless of how many receivers you have in the game, regardless of how many. So it'll be linebackers versus receivers on occasion.
DuBose calls the defensive signals. He's from Seattle, Washington. Influenced by his mother, that she always wanted me to be a football player. On 2nd and 20. Green on the run, throws too long, and it's right back to Eddie Beatty of Indiana. Oh my, it hit Greg Davis flat in the chest and caroms backward to Beatty, the man that Green overthrew initially.
Beatty was wide open, crossing in the middle, but when the ball was thrown, it was thrown late and very high, over the top. By that time, the entire Notre Dame secondary was converging on it. That's just a good break. Trent Green's going to have to be more accurate. He's got guys open. He's going to have to hit them.
Luck of the Irish. Bill Mallory will take that one. 3rd and 2 on a 17-yard gain.
An unbalanced line. Look for an option play going to the right. Here it comes.
And it's Dunbar who has the blocks and the first down at the Notre Dame 37-yard line. Well, you called this one,
Well,
Coach.
Notre Dame hadn't seen the unbalanced, and we did happen to visit with the Indiana coaches about it. But on 3rd down or near the goal line, they'll go unbalanced. In the unbalanced line, they'll give an extra blocker to one side or the other, and then run the option. Very well done.
Picking up 4 tough yards, almost 5 on the carry. Ball at the Irish 36. First quarter, 9.5 minutes remaining. Indiana's first possession. Dunbar, misdirection, has a hole. And he's to the Notre Dame 30, a gain of 6 more. Devon McDonald makes the tackle.
Indiana has 2 top-flight offensive linemen. Troy Newton and Randy Schneider, right guard, right tackle. One pulled, Newton trapped, Schneider pulled and led through the play. There's the trap, there's the lead through the play by Schneider, and there Dunbar just splits both blockers. Beautifully done. Now Notre Dame sees that play. They have it themselves. They just didn't play it very well.
10th play of this opening drive by Indiana after the punt in the end zone by Hendrick. Started back at the 20. They're now at the Irish 30. On 2nd and 4, Dunbar runs into a host of Irish tacklers. Anthony Peterson, Devon McDonald, the 2 outside backers pinching in. No room at all.
Nowhere to go. Now that's where it would really be good if you had an audible. Notre Dame loaded up on defense into that weak side with a 4-3 defense, bringing a linebacker, nowhere to run.
Brings up 3rd down, a loss of a yard on the play. 3rd and 5. Lewis and Beatty to the right. And Thomas, so a triple right formation. And Trent Green to throw. His receiver fell, got up, but Lewis then could not leap high enough to make the catch. All of Green's throws have been high.
Now, it could be the crown on the field, Dick. I don't understand, because everything appears accurate, but is sailing over people's head. Now, Trent, I'm sure, is somewhat anxious, but he's going to have the best day of his career to keep them in it. Now, that's clearly over the head, obviously, but it was there. It was there for the first down.
Here comes Scott Bunnell, and the Hoosiers are going to go for 3, a long 3. Bunnell, an academic all-Big Ten performer, showed us in Bloomington that he has a powerful leg. He kicked 155 last year against Michigan. This one for 48 yards. Good. And the Hoosiers celebrate the early lead. 3-0 Indiana.
Middleton from Chevy Truck. Now get $1,000 cash back on every new 1991 Chevy full-size. The best cash back offer on America's best-selling pickup. Now through September 25th, $1,000 on every new 1991 Chevy full-size pickup. Every half-ton, three-quarter ton, 1 ton. Every two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, all with $1,000 cash back. You must take retail delivery from dealer stock by September 25th. See your Chevy dealer for details and get $1,000 cash back now.
There's a level of service with which you're already quite familiar. Only now you can enjoy it at 35,000 feet. Delta's person-to-person service to over 270 cities worldwide. At Delta, we love to fly, and it shows.
Those figures for the meeting? You don't like them?
Some things are so reliable, they seem invisible.
Confusing, right? They're fine.
For the last 9 years, Canon has been the #1 choice for copiers of uncompromising quality.
No, really, tell me. You can tell me. They're fine. I'm your friend, tell me.
And if you haven't noticed, that's exactly how it should be.
We're not friends anymore.
From compact to advanced digital color to high-speed copying systems, the choice is Canon. Call 1-800-OK-CANON.
Notre Dame football is brought to you by Chevrolet, the heartbeat of America, the cars more people depend on. By the U.S. Army and Army Reserve, be all you can be. By Canon, America's #1 choice for copiers of uncompromising quality. And by the good tires, good service, and good people at your nearby Goodyear retailer.
So Indiana marches 12 plays deep enough into Irish territory to nail a 48-yard field goal by Scott Bunnell, aided on that drive by an incredible ricochet pass off Davis of Notre Dame right into the arms of Eddie Beatty, who was the intended target on the play. Bunnell will kick it off. Clint Johnson, a sophomore from Alamance Springs, Florida, waits inside the 5. Hoosiers again kick it to the right sidelines. Johnson at the 10. Flags are down. And Johnson finally bumped out of bounds at the 15. Mike Middleton, a starting cornerback, finally got him to the turf. Now let's check the yellow flag.
Boy, that was a tough return all the way across the field. How could he get that kind of blocking? Wasn't going to be there. Just by running across the field, the blockers didn't realize he was going over there and blocked the wrong side of their man, and that's what Lou Holtz is reminding him of right now. You just have to return the ball where you belong.
Receiving team on a run back. It'll be half the distance to the penalty or to the goal penalty. First down.
That takes the ball deep into Notre Dame territory to the 7-yard line. Referee is Tom Thamert from the Big East today. It's a combined officiating crew, half from the Big East, half from the Big Ten.
Now we'll see the adjustments that were made while the Notre Dame people were on the sideline, because they're seeing a new defense and, in a sense, a new offense.
And this is the big fullback, Jerome Bettis, 247 pounds. A human bowling ball from Detroit McKenzie High School out to the 15-yard line.
Average over 7 yards a carry last year. He won't do that this year. Last year a spot player, but his blocking and then his sort of off-speed running, catching the people like he did there. But his block will be the key this year.
Culver and Matt Bamba, 99, meets him up high, and with plenty of support, it's a short gain for Culver. Brings up 3rd down and about a yard and a half for the Irish.
At this point, the Hoosiers have to feel pretty darn good. They stopped the Irish on the first drive. They drove with the ball, and now they're at least slowing them up. Now you're going to see them slanting to their left right into the run itself. Too many people there to block.
3rd and short, Notre Dame. It's Culver. Indiana's pursuit from Jim Summerall, the strong safety, down at the 16. It'll be 4th and 1.
are attacking those outside plays, sitting deep and going for them. Nobody to block Summerall, and his speed is just good enough to take on someone like Culver. Beautiful job, and the tackle high enough to stop him from falling forward.
Hendricks' last punt was 70 yards in the air. He's got the whole field to kick to now. No flag. McGowan at the 45-yard line in Indiana territory.
Boy, we almost got a flag. The referee was back there. The referee reached for the flag and then made a judgment. And good luck for Indiana on that one. That certainly was an Irish luck. He almost threw the flag.
21, Chris Merritt flies in from the right.
Just catches the ankle, and we can't see the referee, but he was reaching for it.
Timeout at Notre Dame Stadium. 6 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
Most of my friends don't know what they're going to do after graduation, but I've already locked in guaranteed skill training in the Army. Qualify now and you can reserve even the Army's most sought-after technical training up to 12 months in advance through the Army's delayed entry program. Sure, being a soldier won't be easy, but then nothing worth having ever is.
I hit the brakes. You know, they're anti-lock brakes.
It was close, but we stopped in time.
Every year they plant new trees. Dad says they make good things from trees.
After my accident, they advanced my insurance benefits and built me a ramp and got me back on my feet.
We built this business to build your dreams.
24-hour stakeout.
Hey, I'm coming.
Your equipment better work, and in close quarters, your deodorant better work overtime. That's why Sure made new Pro Stick for men to protect for over 24 hours. In close quarters, we didn't want Pro Stick to come on strong then fade early. New Pro Stick has a long-lasting ingredient so our scents don't come on too strong but protect for over 24 hours.
Got it. Let's call it a night.
You mean a day?
Try new Sure Pro Stick for men. The Pro works overtime every time.
Caprice is a new benchmark. A high-quality, performance-oriented, full-size sedan. Look at the attention to detail, the perfect fit.
The body is practically invincible with its extensive use of two-sided galvanized steel. And for all that, it now comes with a little 24-karat gold. Chevrolet Caprice Classic LTZ is Motor Trend Car of the Year.
It's the kind of car an owner will brag about to friends.
And now it's easy to win with a heartbeat.
The legend, the heir apparent, and the controversy. O.J. Simpson evaluates the Niners' quarterback situation Sunday on NFL Live, followed by great football action.
Welcome back to Notre Dame. Indiana's second possession. 5:56 left in the opening quarter. Vaughn Dunbar, the Hoosier star. Fake to Dunbar. And Green intercepted. Demetrius DeBose. Green to beat. DeBose. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Notre Dame has returned an interception for a touchdown, and Demetrius DeBose, who played a little running back and wide receiver in high school in Seattle, he scored 25 touchdowns as a tailback at O'Day High School up in the Great Northwest. He rumbles more than 50, make it 49 yards, picking off a dangerous pass in the flat.
I was just going to complain that DeBose and Peterson linebackers were playing against wide receivers.
Hendrick adds the extra point. It's 7-3 Notre Dame. Let's take a look at the interception again.
Well, it's just an errant throw. A ball that should not have been thrown. It was thrown too late. A play pass by Trent Green to Dunbar. He's waiting, and finally throws way to the outside. The receiver was far beyond the defender. There wasn't a way you could throw that ball. Now look at this athletic ability. This is why DeBose will be a #1 draft choice.
Trent Green, meanwhile, could not make the tackle, hoping to erase part of his throwing mistake. Barely got a hand on DuBose.
He just had to run too far and then make a play. He was out of control. But the throw itself was so misjudged as to thinking you can get that done that late in the play.
You want to spend as little as possible, yet still get the most for your money. So where do you go for tires? Your Goodyear retailer. He has a wide selection of tires at prices that are lower than you'd expect for such quality. Computer balanced, installed by experts. Where else could you pay so little for so much peace of mind? Good tires, good service, good people. Goodyear.
Bulletin from Chevy Truck. Now get $1,000 cash back on every new 1991 Chevy full-size. The best cash back offer on America's best-selling pickup. Now through September 25th, $1,000 on every new 1991 Chevy full-size pickup. Every half-ton, three-quarter ton, 1 ton. Every two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, all with $1,000 cash back. You must take retail delivery from dealer stock by September 25th. See your Chevy dealer for details and get $1,000 cash back now.
Monday, it's an NBC special preview when the Fresh Prince shakes up the new season with an... But don't worry, he'll be fine.
I'm a grown man. I'm under a table clutching a teddy bear. I am not fine.
Then, we've shown you them all summer.
Did the lens break there?
Now watch Mark and Brian do whatever it takes to sing and dance with the Temptations. The Adventures of Mark and Brian after an all-new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air previewing Monday on NBC.
Stop or I'll shoot! I said stop or I'll shoot, stupid!
Mark Harmon's an undercover cop. Marley Matlin's a top assistant DA.
You have something to say, Ms. Kaufman?
No, Your Honor.
I'm pretty sure she said they shouldn't let that guy be a witness at a wedding.
Now they're unlikely partners.
What did she just say?
It had something to do with your beer bottle and a place where the sun don't shine.
Mark Harmon, Oscar winner Marley Matlin. Fridays this fall, Reasonable Doubts. The quality shows on NBC.
Witness the unmatched drama and emotion of a great golf tradition as Payne Stewart and Paul Azinger lead America against Europe's best, the Ryder Cup, later this month on NBC.
Trent Green will get another chance immediately as Notre Dame sets for the kickoff. DuBose, 49 yards for the touchdown. Last interception for touchdown Notre Dame, also 49, also by a linebacker, Ned Bolcar, against Miami 2 years ago. Hendrick kicks to Lewis at the 1. Thomas Lewis of Indiana to the 30, and a flag down as Lewis is toppled at the 34. While they sort out the penalty, John Dockery's been studying the talents of Vaughn Dunbar. Doc?
Thank you, Dick. You know, some of the preseason polls place Vaughn Dunbar at the top of their list. Derek Brown is also very highly rated, but I spoke to one scout at Wednesday's practice in Indiana, and he said, hey, Dunbar is a top back. He may not be a superstar, but he'd be very productive. He may be better than Anthony Thompson, you remember, drafted 2 years ago in the second round by Phoenix. But Bill Walsh, you know what also he said? He said this is an important game for Dunbar because it's against good competition and it's on grass. And you and I have both seen some turf backs become very ordinary on grass. What do you think about Dunbar?
Well, so many of these college backs practice and play on artificial surface, and Dunbar appears to have the quickness on this particular surface. Of course, Notre Dame Stadium has a beautiful, beautiful grass surface on the first game of the year. But still, he's demonstrating the quickness, the ability to spin and move away from people. He's tough. It's going to be tough to see him make a lot of yards today because I think Notre Dame's now made the adjustments necessary.
Holding was the call on the kickoff return. They start just outside the 10. And it's Dunbar eluding one tackler in the backfield, trying to get outside. And he turns a 3-yard loss into a 5-yard gain. Tom Carter makes the tackle. Bryant Young was the man who had him in the backfield.
Now, Indiana must not change their game plan. They threw an interception, a badly judged throw, but they can't change the plan of throwing 3 out of 4 plays, at least on first and second down, and trying to get those first downs in field position. If they just start going into a shell with Dunbar, Dunbar's going to have a long day, and so is Indiana.
6 carries now for Dunbar, 24 yards. Second down 6.
Notre Dame now is in a 2-deep coverage. You'll have 5 people short in zones.
Dunbar trying to pick a hole. Gets to the 20, make that the 19-yard line, and shy of a first down by 2 yards. Other scores today: Clemson against Appalachian State, leading big in the second.
Clemson really took on a tough one, didn't they?
Hawaii will be Notre Dame's final opponent of the season. Syracuse by 10. Indiana now with its 16th play. Notre Dame has only 6 offensive plays, but the one big interception for a touchdown by DuBose. 3rd and 2. On the option, Green keeps, and the quarterback has the first down and picks up 6 yards to the 25.
Now both teams will have an option play, basically for short yardage, and it forces the opponent to know just who to handle. The quarterback, the faking back, the swing back. It forces them to play accountable football. And the quarterback running, at least early in the game, basically can get that first down.
Green, who ran for 3 touchdowns in that Peach Bowl encounter with Auburn.
Now Green going with Todd Walker at left tight end. He's the fullback.
About a tight end last year, so he's familiar there. Fake to Dunbar. Carries out the fake beautifully. Green goes to the sideline. Short yardage to the 29 to Eddie Beatty. In his sophomore class, actually his first year and his first game. The Hoosiers, a redshirt freshman from Decatur, Georgia. His big catch.
Neither one of these wide receivers with a lot of speed, Lewis or Beatty, have caught a pass at the college level. So it's all new to them. They have ability. At this point, Trent Green's throwing the ball just too late. By the time he throws it, the Notre Dame people are in position, then attacking the receiver.
Brian Radigan, 46, has replaced DuBose. On 2nd and 6, Dunbar. Nothing there. Down at the 31, Nick Smith, backup linebacker from Cincinnati, makes the tackle.
The plan was to cut back. The plan was for Dunbar to start to one side and then get everybody working, then break back behind him on a cutback type play. And I really haven't seen that. Hopefully they're setting it up. But at this point, Notre Dame's beginning to overwhelm this offensive line of Indiana. Beginning to overwhelm them.
3rd down, a short 4.
The play fake.
Incomplete, intercepted by Jeff Burris of Notre Dame. And again, the pass by Green was high.
Now that one was right through Todd Walker's hand. The fullback playing tight end, a former tight end, a routine catch right through his hands. Now maybe he's nervous, maybe the pressure's there, but these are the kind of miscues that typically Notre Dame will force playing at home. People become unraveled.
Irish take over at the 38-yard line. Bill Mallory, that play right in front of him.
Yeah, that can be a little bit disconcerting. Wow.
Myers' first pass, and open is Smith. Tony Smith to the Indiana 24. First down. The first down for the Irish today. A 14-yard play.
Blake Dawson, wide receiver, was wide open for a touchdown, and Rick Meyer took, I think, sort of the easy way out, throwing his first ball. But Dawson was wide open. They'll come back with that later.
Going with 2 tight ends, Derek Brown and Irv Smith. 56-year-old Bill Mallory. A couple of interceptions against the Hoosiers in this opening quarter. 7-3 Notre Dame. It's to the big fullback Bettis, and he draws an Indiana crowd led by Matt Bamba, number 99. Bamba, that's a familiar name, and those of you who follow Indiana basketball, when you see those courtside shots of Bobby Knight, the blonde-haired gentleman next to Knight in most of those pictures is his dad, Brad Bamba, who's the team physician for the Indiana basketball team and was an outstanding Indiana football player in the mid-50s. His son, Matt, a walk-on at IU.
Notre Dame spreading people across the wide field.
To give on a delay to Bettis, who gets only to the 20-yard line, as Troy Mason, number 5, in there early for the Hoosiers.
Well, at this point, I would assume they'll throw. And Rick Meyer in practice sessions has been as impressive as you can be as a college quarterback. He appears to have everything. And one of the long line of great Irish quarterbacks. This guy, if he completes his career at Notre Dame, I think will be ranked right with him. And that's not off last year. Last year was a little disappointing for everybody.
That's Dawson in motion. Smith on that side. Meyer, good protection. Into the end zone. Almost intercepted. Mike Middleton, 13. Tried to one-hand it. Tony Smith was the man curling deep in the end zone.
Thrown just a little bit late. And he didn't account for the safety from the far side of the field. Finally seeing the fake and then beginning to move in the direction of the throw, and he intersects it, just barely gets to it. We have a wide open receiver. He thought he had it. He thought he had it.
Meyer, a junior from nearby Goshen, Indiana. It will be a field goal attempt by Hendrick of 38 yards. Jim Sexton to hold. Plenty of distance, but the hook no good. He hooks it left. The goalpost this year 5 yards more narrow instead of the collegiate width of some 23 feet plus of years past. This year they're the same width as the NFL posts, 18 and a half. And hooking left was Hendrick, so it remains 7-3.
Well, that would have been good last year by the margin it missed. But more importantly, Hendrick's been practicing with NFL goalposts throughout his entire career at Notre Dame. So he's practicing with a narrow goalpost.
So the Hoosiers using their defense hold and will take over at the 21-yard line. If you look at other scores on this first full Saturday of college action. Michigan playing Boston College, and of course Notre Dame will be at Ann Arbor next Saturday afternoon.
Well, now as a Hoosier coach, Bill Mallory and his staff almost pleading with their guys, just calm down and execute, because the plays have been there. They've developed properly. People have been open. Holes have been there, but they've been just too anxious. And unless they calm down now at this point, Notre Dame, I'm afraid, is just going to wear them down physically. Just take them out of it physically.
Bill, two early impressions. One, Trent Green, maybe it's nerves, maybe it's the crown of the field, appears to be too strong with his throws, too high and too many. And the other is that the Hoosier defense against the run, very solid in this first quarter.
Well, we can talk about it on the next possession, but the Hoosiers are playing that four-man line and coming up the field hard.
Now it's Green surviving that last interception as Burris picked off the deflection, and Hendrick misses the 38-yard field goal. Only Dunbar in the backfield. Over the middle and wide open, the tight end, and it's Coleman with his third catch and a first down at the Notre Dame 38-yard line, or the Indiana 38, 18 yards on the play.
Jim Flanagan, who's played well against the run, jumped on that plate fake and left his zone and left that tight end position to cross the field. You'll see 44 and 47 coming inside and then completely losing track of anybody crossing behind them. Now Notre Dame is tackling downfield. Now that's very good. Solid shots.
Coleman, who was a defensive player, tackle and a linebacker 2 years ago. Third catch today at 9 last season. Beatty in motion. And Dunbar tries the left side. They string him out, and he gains only 1 to the 40. Tom Carter finally delivering the blow that brought Dunbar to the ground.
Well, Rod Smith supported as a cornerback beautifully. He kept his leverage, met the blocker with his inside shoulder. He didn't leave Dunbar anywhere to go, so the pursuit caught up. Now, they're really sound fundamental football by Notre Dame at this point.
Final seconds of the opening quarter. Indiana scoring first on a 48-yard field goal. Demetrius DeBose 49-yard touchdown with an intercepted pass to give the Irish the 7-3 lead. Thomas and Beatty to the right. On second and long, Dunbar breaking tackles and using that free hand has a first down at midfield.
There was the cutback. He started right, hesitated a little bit, and then broke in behind using Mack and Smith, his left guard and center, to do the blocking for him. So he broke back between people. And the other thing that was really impressive, his pads were low. Now you see him get his pads down underneath people and get that extra yardage. That's a beautiful job.
Good balance to get the extra 3 yards. Ball just into Notre Dame territory. As you look at the Fort Wayne product, Vaughn Dunbar, who played 2 years at JC ball at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M, where he was a JC All-America. 9 seconds left in the quarter.
Bring it on, baby!
Big fake to Dunbar. Wide open again, the tight end. And once again, it's Coleman. 4 catches in this first quarter. Another first down, Indiana. And that is the end of the opening quarter at Notre Dame. After 15 minutes, the Hoosiers, at least to themselves, have shown they belong on this field. Indiana trails the Irish 7-3.
This Heisman Trophy moment is brought to you by AT&T, the right choice. The Irish of 1956 won only 2 games, but with his ability to run, pass, and kick, Notre Dame Golden Boy Paul Hornung could do it all. Vince Lombardi would later call Hornung the most versatile man who ever played the game. And it was that versatility which led Hornung to his Heisman moment in 1956.
I'm not one to change too much. If it works for me, if it's not broke, I don't fix it. I'll leave it alone.
But I will. I'm a shopaholic. I shop around for the best deal, and I've tried every long-distance phone company that's out there. AT&T gives me the best service for what I want.
That means a lot to me.
I think that if you're hired to do a job, that you should do it to the best of your ability. So I really like AT&T, their service.
Yeah, AT&T. They're responsive.
That sinking feeling? You turn the key and nothing.
When it gets this hot, you'd better get to Sears.
I hear my battery gets baked.
Only Sears has the Die Hard. In demanding tests for starting power, Die Hard performed 3 times better than industry standard.
This time, I'm getting a Die Hard.
Sears Die Hard battery, more power when you need it most.
Who's gonna back it better than Sears?
1 year ago, a wing and a prayer helped Notre Dame capture a dramatic come-from-behind victory.
Caught by Adrian Gerald on a deflection. What a play!
In 2 weeks, these teams meet again as the Michigan State Spartans invade South Bend to battle the Fighting Irish. Notre Dame football is home on NBC.
Notre Dame's going to have to make some adjustments because the Indiana is getting people open. Now you'll see Coleman, the tight end, block. You'll see Peterson pursue a fake over here. Then out comes Coleman, and out comes the quarterback. No one there. So Notre Dame's going to have to account for misdirection passing.
First down as we start the second quarter. Dunbar putting on the brakes. Look at the moves. And finally pushed forward at the 31-yard line. A gain of nearly 8. Let's go back to that tight end play.
Well, here's the tight end that's going to hit and get open. We know that's going to happen. And you'll see pursuit going this way. Now the quarterback will end up on the outside. Coleman hits into his man, then slides out. No one's there. Peterson's chasing a phantom runner. No one there. Now, the running itself by Coleman is a little bit hesitant. He should just turn it on and bowl over that defensive back.
But the use of Dunbar as a man carrying out a fake, opening up that tight end pass. 4 catches in the first quarter.
Here comes a big blitz up from Notre Dame. Here they come. That opened it up.
Brett Law, the backup running back, and Law is inside the 20.
Well, there's a decision that you make. A decision that you'll make. You decide to go after somebody once and stop them for a big play. You're going to see a blitz here coming right through the inside, and that's just where the ball carrier is going to break. See, the linebacker now is gone. He's up the field trying to penetrate to stop those play passes. So if Indiana continues to mix it up, get Dunbar the ball or Law, and then, of course, the play pass, which has been very effective thus far.
That was Law's first carry as a Hoosier, a redshirt freshman, and he's still in there and has another hole at the 10, and Law still on his feet. First and goal, Indiana at the 4-yard line.
Law's been watching Dunbar, and he knows just where to go with the ball. That's the cutback that they wanted and they planned for. Cutting all the way back behind everybody. You see him start this way, and bending way back across the field, and Notre Dame, again, being so anxious, is over pursuing.
Law, who went to a small school, Sheridan, Indiana High School. They were 2 times a small school state champion. Scored 66 touchdowns as a senior rushing. And he rips off a 15 and then a 12-yarder. His first 2 carries as a Hoosier. First and goal, Indiana.
Now it gets tough. Down here.
Green on a keeper. Lunging, touchdown!
shouldn't have got more than a half a yard, and he just kept stepping through people for the touchdown. I'm sure Lou Holtz is concerned about that. And Gary Darnell doesn't like to think that Notre Dame's going to start missing tackles inside their own 5-yard line.
Flanagan and McDonald had him straightened, but Green atoning for that interception that he threw that went for a DeBose Notre Dame touchdown, puts Indiana back in front. Here's the try for point by Bunnell. It's good. Indiana 10, Notre Dame 7 with 13 minutes to go in the opening half. And Phil Mallory rooted for Green right to that final stripe.
Getting to know you.
Geostorm. Great way to get away. 16 valves. Hello, road. The turns. The hills. This is it.
Get to know Geostorm and tame a wild road.
Now this could be contagious.
Catch one now at your Chevrolet Geo dealer. Getting to know you.
Hi, I'm Martin Mull. Did you know that 75% of the time spent in a hotel room is with the lights off, sleeping? So why check into a $60 a night motel when you can get a room at a Red Roof Inn like this? Every bit is clean, every bit is comfortable, and yes, every bit is dark for about $30 less.
Next time, hit the roof. Red Roof Inns. Call 1-800-THE-ROOF.
You can stay at the Ritz, and it doesn't get any darker than this.
MetLife manages assets of over $125 billion. When 45 million people count on you for insurance and financial services, you can never be too strong. Get Met. It pays.
Recently, this couple walked out of Little Caesars with extra pepperoni and extra cheese without paying for it. It's Lotsa, 2 pizzas with extra pepperoni and extra cheese for $8.98. It's a steal.
Lotsa.
Notre Dame football is brought to you by Chevrolet, the heartbeat of America, the cars more people depend on. By ITT Corporation, building people's dreams. By Fram Oil Filters, you can pay a little now or a lot later. And by Nuprin, standard equipment of the 1992 U.S. Olympic team.
Indiana takes the lead, but Vaughn Dunbar unable to celebrate. It appears that he's injured a shoulder or a neck there, Bill.
He looks as though it's one of those burners, those nerve damage kind of things that sting him.
This might be the play where it happened.
Right
oh,
there,
yeah.
That's what it was.
Helmet to helmet.
Yeah. Now, he should recover from that kind of thing in a few minutes.
Meanwhile, the splashes of red in this Notre Dame sea of blue and white and gold are cheering the Hoosiers, who marched 79 yards after the missed field goal by Hendrick. It took them 8 plays, 3.5 minutes. And Green 5 yards on the roll for the score. It's 10-7 Indiana.
Indiana has found a real flaw in that Notre Dame defense. Notre Dame has McDonald lining up on a tight end, but rushing. There isn't anybody to cover the tight end when the fake's away from him. So I'm sure they're going over that right now.
Clint Johnson into the end zone. What a kick by Bunnell. The Irish will take it at the 20-yard line. Doc?
Talk to Vaughn Dunbar quickly. You see him there behind me, and he's walking around. What he said is he got a stinger in that left shoulder, but he's fine. He'll be back in the game. A little tired, a little hot. It is hot down here, about 85 degrees, some humidity, but he said he's fine, just a stinger.
Well, that's good news for the Hoosiers.
Law did not do that bad, Dick. He was really decisive, little guy. 5'10", 185 pounds.
Well, Rick Meyer dealing from behind again. And it's Culver. And the big fullback has a gain of 17 before the Hoosiers. Lance Brown can haul him down.
We see the adjustment. They trap that middle of that defensive line with McCormick and McDaniel over the guards. And this is Notre Dame's first major adjustment. You see the trap across on McDaniel, and there's a big hole right up the middle. Williams, who's playing middle linebacker, didn't read it quickly enough. So when they get in that even defense, look for that trap right up the middle.
Culver out. This is Tony Brooks, the senior, trying to twist away from the Hoosier surge. A tough yard at best as Paul Williams, number 29, the first to get to Brooks, who played his high school ball in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Rushed for over almost 700 yards in '88. Then, because of a suspension, went to Holy Cross Junior College in '89. Came back last year. And Lou Holtz feels that Brooks is ready to have a banner senior year.
That four-man line with Beauchamp and Farrell outside, coming up the field hard.
Meyer to Derek Brown, the big tight end, steps out of bounds at the 47. That'll be close to a first down. Brown's first catch of the year.
Well, the pressure was there, but Meyer had all the poise he needed. That crossing tight end against the four-man line is going to be there. It's a nice job of faking. You see the pressure coming from the outside, but Culver does a fine job of pass protection. Now that's the kind of running you want to see out of a tight end. He got that shoulder down and just took his guy on.
Just shy of the first down, third and about a foot. Both Griggs and Dawson to the left. Brown, the tight end, on the right side. Culver now at fullback. The quick toss to Lake Dawson. And Dawson, who has excellent moves, picks up the first down at the Indiana 46.
Well, Dawson was in against Summerall, a safety man. They just weren't even accounting for a possible throw. Look at the big hole right in front of him. He just had 15 yards before he would be confronted with anyone, and then it was a safety. A big safety trying to cover a wide receiver.
And they're that far away, you can't even hear the footsteps, can you? Dawson with 6 catches as a freshman last year. Here's Brooks. Inside the 40-yard line, a gain of almost 7 before Larry McDaniel make the stop.
Jurkovic and Hall, right guard, right tackle, pulled, trapped, led through. Beautiful job. And Lindsey Knapp, the left tackle, knocked Farrell right off the ball. So this is the kind of thing Notre Dame needs. I believe the pulling guard, the trapping, and getting the guard and tackle through the offside hole is where they're going to take Indiana apart.
Notre Dame sends 2 wideouts way to the right, then brings Dawson in motion. Meyer, incomplete, intended for Dawson at the 37 of Indiana. That'll bring up third down and 4. We're at Notre Dame Stadium. This is Dick Enberg with Bill Walsh, John Dockery. 11:19 left in the half, and the Hoosiers lead 10-7.
I'm sure that Lou Holtz wishes he'd run on that play, but I think if Meyer were given a chance and threw 25, 30 times a game, especially against this defense, he could have a big, big day.
Griggs to the left. Gerald to the right.
Here comes a blitz.
And it's Brooks. Breaking tackles, first down, and had he stayed on his feet, might have gone all the way. Bamba was the man who had him short of the first down, but Brooks just ripped away.
Miller and Hagan both blitzed on the guard tackle gaps. There was no one left to stop the play. No linebacker was there. So once you see that tackle broken, you're looking at defensive backs trying to make the stop. Both teams have been burnt by trying to blitz and get pressure on. And I'm sure both defensive coordinators are keeping track of it.
First down at the IU 31. Now it's Culver back in the tailback. And his 225-pound charge gets Notre Dame another first down.
Now that's Rodney Culver. That's a combination of quickness and strength. The quickness to avoid everybody. Then when he took people on, he just bowled them back. Beautiful job. Both teams are now cutting back against that 4-man line. You see the cutback all the way outside. Now watch as he turns up the field. He just lowers the half. There's an extra 6 yards after he was hit. 6 extra yards on running.
9th play of the drive. Meyer on the roll. Oh, Culver, touchdown! Yards as Meyer was slammed by Richardson, tosses to Culver, who juggled it, looked as if it was going to carry him right out of bounds.
Beautiful job by Rick Meyer. He came to the outside and waited and waited and waited before he pitched that ball out. He strung that ball out about as far as you can. You watch him going all the way around it. He knows he's going to pitch, but he holds it until the last instant. And now this fine job of handling the ball by Culver, but Rick Meyer, just incredible. Beautiful job of the offense.
Hendrick Adds the extra point, and Notre Dame back in front, 14-10.
Hagan is going to get blocked right here. Oh, great job by Culver of cutting a man down.
That was Bettis, and then Culver.
Yeah.
Number 6, Bettis. Number 5, Culver. The Detroit connection combined to give Notre Dame the lead by 4.
Oil. It's the lifeblood of your engine. That makes your oil filter your engine's most vital organ. That's why Fram keeps going the extra mile to make the best protection even better. Introducing the new Fram Extra Guard. New glass fiber paper stops more dirt than any other filter for the best protection ever. The new Fram Extra Guard. American or import, it's an extra lease on life.
Bulletin from Chevy Truck. Now get $1,000 cash back on every new 1991 Chevy full-size. The best cash back offer on America's best-selling pickup. Now through September 25th, $1,000 on every new 1991 Chevy full-size pickup. Every half-ton, three-quarter ton, 1 ton. Every 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, all with $1,000 cash back. You must take retail delivery from dealer stock by September 25th. See your Chevy dealer for details and get $1,000 cash back now.
I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade.
Some kids take to swimming like a fish to water, and some don't. In fact, any child can drown in just 2 inches of water. Make the water safe for your child with the Red Cross Water Safety Program.
Under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade.
Dear USA, there's a city with houses made of ginger, where enchanted princes dream, gardens grow with living stones, and heroes come to play. A magical city where the friends you make are friends for life. It's Barcelona. It's in Spain.
The Steelers battle the Bills. The Chargers take on the 49ers. An NBC football doubleheader Sunday.
Excellent run, but even a better catch of that lateral pass. He had to reach back one-handed for Culver on that 19-yard touchdown. Hendrick spins it to the other end, and Dunbar at the 10 finally. And is brought down at the 20-yard line. Trent Green takes the field, aiming to get the Hoosiers back in front, and his aims are longer than that. Right, John?
Certainly are, Dick. Sometimes you can tell a lot about an athlete by peeking into his private space. And I did that this week in Trent Green's locker. I don't know if you can read that headline. Indiana wins 1914, Rose Bowl bound. That's 1967. And those are the kinds of aspirations that Trent Green has. Hey, they said they've gone from being very bad to being mediocre at 6-5-1 last year, and now they want to take it to the next level and play with the elite. And today is certainly an opportunity to prove they can play with the elite. Back to you guys.
And Green and the Hoosiers start at the 20, trailing 14-10. It's Dunbar back in the game, and he has 5, maybe 6. Yeah, that 67 team will stir memories from Indiana fans. Eisenbarger and Gonzo and company, they were the Cinderella team of John Font in '67, upset their way on to the Rose Bowl as tri-champions, the only Indiana team to go to Pasadena.
Indiana has a reverse, and I'm waiting for them to use it, because at this point it's there. For how many yards, I don't know. That'll depend on the Notre Dame safeties reacting to it, but it's there at the line of scrimmage.
Second down, 4.5. Underneath to his tight end again. No, it's the fullback Todd Walker this time, right at the 29, shy of the first down. Walker from Springfield, Ohio, the converted tight end. You see the fans trying to keep the Hoosiers cool. It's close to 90 degrees, maybe even warmer down on the turf with a little breeze that there is, sheltered from the fans down low and from the players. 3rd and 1. Oh, Penn State 60-0. 3rd and 1. Dunbar, 35. And as he cuts back, he's caught from behind at the 43. Tom Carter. And, oh, Dunbar, you could see he was ready to motor long distance.
Well, he's Wilbert Montgomery, the former Philadelphia Eagle. Exactly the same thing. Right at the line of scrimmage, he stops and makes 2 people miss. 2 people that were partially being blocked. But there's that quickness apparently these pro scouts see. And it's there, no question about it. He makes people miss in the line of scrimmage.
He's up to 66 yards in this first half, Dunbar. NFL Combine, of all the seniors in the nation coming into the season, rated him the #1 pro prospect at all positions. On first down, Green. Deep down the middle, complete to Thomas, and he has a first down at the Irish 33. Eddie Thomas.
The Irish are simply not getting near the passer. Green is not called a classic quarterback, but he's getting all the time he needs, and the coverage down the field. This is why people are really concerned about Notre Dame defense. This is sort of a continuation of the problems they had last year. Not enough downfield defenders and not enough pressure on the passer, yet with a good, solid group of athletes. They just have to find the formula. This looks like a blitz. Here we go.
Dunbar caught in the backfield and dropped for a yard loss as Eric Jones and Demetrius DeBose collaborated.
Greg Davis made a big blitz that time, and as a safety man coming into the line of scrimmage, you're going to see the blitz is coming right in here, and it's going to clog up everything in the line of scrimmage. You see people coming right to it, and there are just too many blockers. They brought Davis up from the strong safety spot into a linebacker spot. So they're picking their spots. Good defensive call.
2nd and 11. Indiana trailing 14-10. Midpoint of the 2nd quarter. Green all day again. Throws high. One-handed catch by the tight end Coleman.
Those are suicide throws, I'll tell you. Because Green's waiting so long to finally throw the ball. It's traveling 30 or 40 yards in the air. Notre Dame guys are just making a move on it. Good pass protection. But see how far that ball has to travel, and then there are people converging on it. So you're not going to get any run after the catch with that kind of passing.
Coleman's 5th catch with Nick Smith all around him, and he grabs it left-handed. Short yardage, only about 4 yards on the play. It's 3rd and 7. Good protection, going deep and open is Beatty. There's Lewis, touchdown! Thomas Lewis, Indiana takes the lead.
1 yard line, Dick. It looked as though he got in, and I guess the knee hit. But again, wide open, a running pattern into the corner. Notre Dame people just not responding to the ball. Burris should have been there. Now there was plenty of time to throw it, and then the corner pattern up the field, and you'll see no one between the receiver and the quarterback. And Burris, a safety man assigned to be over there, just didn't respond.
No touchdown, but Lewis can celebrate 1st and goal at the 1 for Indiana. Walker and Dunbar behind Green. It's Dunbar. No signal yet, and they're going to mark it just outside the goal line as Greg Davis from a safety position. 26, plug the hole.
Now, typically, you'd have your flanker in close because you'll see Davis from the top of the screen unblocked. And that typically is the man that makes the stops on the goal line. Somebody coming outside and then down the line of scrimmage. The way you deal with it, a close flanker to stop that penetration. In fact, we saw it last week, so it's not just related to college games. Buffalo Bills failed to do it last week.
Thomas, the only flanker, out to the right. Irish crowd making it tough on Green. He sneaks it. Touchdown, Indiana. Trent Green has his 2nd score today.
Well, Gary Darnell, the defensive coordinator for the Irish, I'm sure he's squeamish right this minute. The big problem last year, no pressure on the passer, and then receivers allowed to run free down the field. That was the same pattern that Stanford scored on to beat Notre Dame. A man going to the corner and the safety not getting there. And Dick, I really can't tell you why. excellent athletes, well coached, but they don't respond. Now, here's the touchdown that looked mighty close. But that downfield stuff is got, I'm sure, Lou is going out of his mind with that problem. It shouldn't be occurring.
Adds the extra point, and the Hoosiers complete an 80-yard drive, 9 plays, and come home with the lead, 17-14.
Not long ago, one of the first Lumina sedans was bought by a family of 5. They said they liked the gas mileage, all the room it had, and they liked the price. Since then, the Lumina sedan has quickly become the best-selling new car name in America. Apparently, a lot of people are winning with
the heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevrolet.
Now it's easy to win with a heartbeat.
We built this business.
They came in with their big pumps and stopped the flooding. Saved my business. All I've worked for.
Build this business.
Your people really care. It meant a lot to us.
They lent me the money. Without it, Debbie couldn't have started college.
We built this business to build your dreams.
I heard, but I'll be back.
I know.
Count me out. You make a mistake.
I know, Mr. Connors.
My doc says ibuprofen for body pain. The medicine, a Nuprin.
My trainer, too.
Got a Nuprin.
Nupit. Nupit with Nuprin.
Strong stuff.
Just takes one.
Even a young guy like you uses it.
I Nupit.
This party ain't over, kid.
For back, joint, or muscle pain.
Nupit.
Nupit.
With Nuprin.
The body pain medicine.
It's a symbol of security for millions of Americans. A document that protects your rights in all 50 states. And an inspiration for all who honor it. It's the Goodyear Promise. Available only with Goodyear Certified Auto Service. It includes a nationwide warranty that promises we'll fix your car right or fix it again free at 2,700 locations nationwide. Good tires, good service, good people, Goodyear.
Karts Karai, St. John Smith, and America's Boys of the Beach take on the world's best. The Miller Lite World Invitational from Walt Disney World. Live today following Notre Dame football.
September sun highlighting whom that young lady favors. The Irish trailing Indiana 17-14 with 5:26 remaining in the opening half. And Lou Holtz's concerns about that inexperienced, young, and small defensive front 7 are well earned, apparently, as Indiana has moved effectively, just driving for their touchdown 1-yard green, capping an 80-yard drive, and now it's Fennell kicking to Johnson. Johnson into his own end zone, trying to take it out to the 20. And brought down at the 23-yard line. Mose Richardson made the tackle. Looking ahead to tomorrow, a doubleheader here on NBC. NFL action beginning at 12:30 with NFL Live. The early games, most of you will see the Steelers and Bills. Also Colts, Miami, Cleveland, New England. Late game, most of the nation, Chargers and the 49ers. It'll be Denver at Los Angeles and the Jets, Seattle as well. And I hope you'll tune in at 12:30. O.J. Simpson with Joe Montana and the 49ers. And is this going to be Steve Young, or will Montana come back? That'll be at 12:30. Meyer gives to his fullback, and it's Bettis close to the 30, a gain of about 6 yards. Mark Hagan, 47 of Indiana, with a tackle.
Every time we see that Indiana defense in an even front, that would say 2 defensive men on each guard. With the center open, you're going to get the Notre Dame trap. And that time it just simply fell forward for 5 yards. Indiana has not handled that trap play right in the middle, and what they'll do is move that front a little bit, which they've just done, so that Notre Dame can't spot it every time.
Play action, and Meyer to throw, wide open on the sidelines. It's a first down to Ray Griggs. Griggs in the Chicago area has his first pass of the new season in 18 yards.
Joe Moore, the offensive line coach for Notre Dame, one of the real sagey people, one of the veteran, outstanding line coaches, has done a great job of blocking. And this is just a case of a zone defense being so cautious that the receiver, look at coming to the outside. Everyone's blocked for Meyer. Everyone's blocked. Beautiful job. And Meyer's got that gun, Dick. He can really throw a football.
He's going to throw it again, and he's going long for Johnson, but 10 yards too long. The rocket might have been there. I don't think even his jets would have carried him that fast.
That looked like that he just took a shot down the field with it and was just premature.
He had to unload because pressure was on.
Well, Farrell comes from the outside, of 235-pound lineman. In this case is Hagan, coming from the outside and just getting there with their quickness.
Mark Hagan, his dad played at the University of Minnesota as a quarterback, led her 3 years with the Gophers in the late 60s. Played his high school ball at Carmel, Indiana. On second down, a screen to Brooks. And it was Hagan who got there first at the Indiana 45. It'll be about 3 yards shy of a first down.
Well, by good fortune, the Hoosiers had somebody in the way of the screen. There was one man there that wouldn't get knocked off his feet. Otherwise, it was very well executed. And we'd seen them practicing. That'll be a big weapon for the Irish all year.
Third down, a long 3. Dunbar getting ready for his duty. Meyer with Brooks trailing. Meyer keeps. Meyer down the sideline. Touchdown, Notre Dame. 46-yard run by Rick Meyer.
The same option play they pitched with Culver on earlier near the goal line. This time Rick looked out there and just kept the ball and kept going. The defender had to go for it. Had to go to the outside for the ball, and you watch him go right by the man who has the pitch man. And it's just, now this is good speed. He runs in the 4.5 area, so this is a fine athlete, much like a Joe Montana.
Adds the extra point. Rick Meyer, that's his longest run at Notre Dame. 30 yards his previous high. Flag is down. He goes 46 yards untouched on that touchdown along the sideline. Penalty apparently against Indiana will be marked off on the ensuing kickoff.
Okay, now what you're going to see is Meyer coming to the outside with the ball. Now as the play develops, he will keep it rather than pitch it. And this is the critical part. He's got Bettis in front of him, Culver outside. Now just when he's expected to pitch the ball, he runs with it. It's a nice job of blocking on the outside by Jarrell.
Yeah, credit that great block to roll out the final Hoosier defender to Adrian Terrell, a former option quarterback himself in high school. He helps out that quarterback, Rick Meyer, and it's Notre Dame as this one seesaws to 21-17. The Irish are going to be tough to stop offensively. The question all year will be, can they stop the opposition as you look at other scores?
They just haven't found the formula. There isn't any question about it. They're well coached, but the formula isn't there with some very talented young men. No dominating defensive players other than possibly DeBose, but a good, solid group of players.
Let's go down to John Dockery.
Thank you, Dick. I just watched Gary Donnell talk to his defense. There's no panic on the Notre Dame sidelines. He simply went to each individual player, Demetrius DeBose, and tell him, hey, you got to get help from your defensive backs. You got to get off the ball quicker. He also went to his middle linebacker, Jim Flanagan, and calmed him down and said, hey, it's early. We're in this game. Just play your game. Remember his conversation yesterday that we had with him about Flanagan? How he thought that was important to keep Flanagan calm. Back to you guys.
All right, Doc, and Lou Holtz, who's had a rough week. The problems of a weekend ago with Meyer and DeBose and being arrested, and that's been clarified, in fact, excused in Meyer's case. And then yesterday, his son, a third-year law student here at Notre Dame, taken to the hospital, was in a coma. They were very concerned as we talked with Lou. He's just been recounting the emotions of this week. He got teary-eyed. Been tough on him. This probably the most comfortable he's felt. Onside by Notre Dame, and a free ball, and who's got it? Irish think they do. At the 42 of Indiana. Trying to catch Indiana. Those front 5 men retreating to block into the wedge. Notre Dame recovers.
Well, I'm sure they've been looking in that Indiana block protection of them drifting back very quickly, taking their eye off the ball. They had their onside kick ready.
Still wrestling for possession underneath there, and the man who comes out with it is Brian Radigan, 46.
Now, Indiana is running the other way at this point. There's one man trying to find that ball. In a sense, no one was playing the ball. All Indiana could do was try to make a tackle.
Dean Lytle was the man who had his hands on it for a moment, but the man who recovered was Brian Radigan, number 46.
Now, Joe Novak, Indiana defensive coordinator, reminded us that Penn State and Colorado penetrated to stop Notre Dame, and both teams did a good job, and that's what he's trying to do. But what he does when he attempts that is give up the trap and the play pass. Here's the play pass.
Down the middle, deep to Smith, complete to the IU 13-yard line.
Boy, is it good to see Lou throwing the ball like this. He's got the great quarterback, and Meyer is such a fine passer with all that poise. Excellent receivers, well called. He got the turnover, and he went for it. This is sort of the Sam Wyche approach. Once you get a turnover, you go for it. Go for the big play.
Yeah, Holtz traditionally likes to go for the big play on that turnover, and Smith wide open in the center of the field. Middleton chops him down. First down at the 13. Tony Brooks up the middle. Brooks at the 5. Brooks, touchdown.
If we can see this again, wait until you see Justin Hall, number 73, the right tackle, lay the block that opened Brooks up. He pulled and did a beautiful job, aside from Brooks' running ability.
13-yard touchdown for Brooks, and the Irish lead 27-17.
This block pulling through the line of scrimmage, and you'll see him come out of that line of scrimmage as a big offensive tackle. There's the block that does it. Now, that really takes mobility and quickness and, of course, coaching. And that Joe Moore, that offensive line coach, does a great job with these guys.
Hendrick adds the extra point, and it's the Irish converting quickly on the recovery of the onside kick to take a 28-17 lead. The last 3 Notre Dame drives, they've scored 3 touchdowns, and they've needed only a total of 16 plays to score 21 points. Well, it's warm enough to go out to the beach, go over to the lake. Michigan's just Lake Michigan, some 20 miles away, but out in the west, it's beach volleyball, and that's rapidly increasing in its national popularity. And coming up after our Notre Dame action today with Indiana, NBC Sports will present live coverage of Pro Beach Volleyball, International Flair, Miller Lite, World Invitational, not from California, but from Walt Disney World in Florida. You'll see the best 2-man teams, 8 foreign countries, including volleyball powers, Cuba and Japan, competing against the United States and others. $100,000 in prize money. The Miller Lite World Invitational Pro Beach Volleyball follows our football from Notre Dame. So the Irish lead 28-17, 1 touchdown on a Demetrius DeBose interception, 47 yards, and another touchdown for Lou Holtz's club on that onside kick. Hendrick kicks this one high and fairly short, and up back to take it from the 20. Ooh, and drilled at the 28-yard line. It was Ryan Mahalko, the star of the Notre Dame defense, nailing Cam Bardwell of Indiana. Mahalko from New Hampshire. He's a track man, a javelin star.
He's an excellent special teams man. Now, this is just good fortune. You'd better protect the ball, which is being done, and there's that big shot. Once that ball enters the blocking pattern from a different angle, those defenders have a great chance to make the big play. That's what you got.
From the 29, Green sets up. He's 10 for 15 today, 2 interceptions, but he's rushed for 2 touchdowns. Misdirection, Dunbar. Bounced out of bounds and into the Irish bench, 37-yard line.
Now, that's the flaw we talked about earlier with Notre Dame. Those places start one way and break back the other way. And again, Newton and Schneider pulling. They did a great job. And on the other side, Sean Harper, a big, powerful guy with potential, not much experience, did a good job of blocking. So you have to say that the fundamental part of for Indiana is on target.
Familiar sights of Notre Dame football. 2:54 left in the half. Irish 28, Hoosier 17. Second and 2. Blitz. And Green throwing it high over his intended receiver, but Dunbar was a long way from the ball, and the fans wanted intentionally grounding.
Rod Smith, Dick, blitzed. A cornerback blitzed, and they wanted to throw a screen to this side of the field. Green wanted to work way over to the other side, pull everyone over there after the fake, then throw back to Dunbar, but he had a corner blitz.
Boy,
now,
Smith like a shot.
Throwing it away at that point. He's got to get rid of the ball, which he did. Here comes that unbalanced line to the right. Typically, they're going to run an option play over there. Notre Dame a little confused. Look at them, trying to get each other lined up. All wrong at this point.
Third down and 2. Green keeps it and has the first down across the 40-yard line.
Well, McDonald was late. He was late getting there, but did he get the job done once he got there?
Troy Ridgely, 99, also in on the pop. A senior, 263-pounder, the most experienced of those down linemen, with George Williams ineligible to play this year. They're counting on the 300 pounds and the veteran style of Williams, who would have been a preseason All-America, but he will not play for Uholtz this year, a decision made by the university. 2:28 remaining in the first half. The Hoosiers trying to keep the ball, hope they can get another score before halftime. Green complete to the Notre Dame 47-yard line to Eddie Beatty, and the redshirt freshman shows good hands again. Burroughs and Smith make the tackle.
Not a very pretty pass. I think that went in over in, but again, an open man. Rod Smith in his own defense is just giving a lot of room, and Flanagan couldn't get there in his zone. So they're a big hole in that zone defense, but more importantly, not enough people getting off the blockers to get to the passer. They're getting hung up on those offensive linemen. So Green just, there's no pressure on the man. Unblocked.
He eludes and then throws incomplete. Dean Lytle, a freshman, check that, sophomore, was in on Green, and the fans thought again that Green threw it away unnecessarily.
That looked like a big mix-up, a total mix-up in the blocking pattern by Indiana. There's a route. Now, I think what we do is have someone stumble and run right into it. I don't think there was a play on the ball there. So it's an accidental contact, and the officials are informed to let it go.
But a flag is down.
Oh, he does throw it. Well, okay.
And they're going to rule it ineligible man downfield against Indiana and ignore the contact downfield by the Notre Dame defender.
Ineligible receiver downfield against the offense. Repeat, first down. Penalty is refused. Sorry, second down.
They refused the penalty.
The ball's in the air now. Could he have caught it? Well, he's down. Who knows? It looked like it would have, as a lot of them have been doing, sailing over everybody's head.
So the Irish want that down box to roll around. 1:48 left in the half. 2nd and 10, Indiana. 3 wide receivers for the Hoosiers. Green protected well. Flag down, complete to Beatty. And Beatty is to the Irish 38-yard line.
I think we have a holding by, my guess is Todd Smith, the left guard, because he just turned and tackled Bryant. Just turned and tackled him. Well, it's critical now for Indiana to at least take all the time off the clock. They don't want Notre Dame to get that ball back. A lot of little things going wrong here, giving field position, but don't give it back to the Irish.
Against the offensive team. It's a 10-yard penalty. It will be enforced from the spot of the foul. Repeat, second down.
This winds up as much more than a 10-yard penalty because it incurred in the Indiana backfield and takes it all the way back to the Hoosier 38-yard line as you look at the penalty totals for this first half. Now that brings up second down and about 26, so it amounts to a 16-yard penalty.
Just get 8 or 10 of it back at this point. Don't think it has to be a 26-yard pass. Just 8 or 10 of it back.
Green caught by Lytle. Make that Oliver Gibson, 56. A sophomore from Romeoville, Illinois. Caught him around the ankles, and timeout called by the Irish with 1:03 remaining in this first half. No, it's Indiana going to exercise the timeout.
Well, what we're going to get is a pass rush from the outside that virtually is untouched. And Green is just going to wait too long. The back will miss. Now his man will get up and make the tackle. So Lytle is knocked to the ground by Dunbar and gets up and still makes the tackle, which would say Lytle did a great job of intensity and staying with it. But on the other hand, Green was taking far too long to throw that ball. Far too long.
Well, let's get them straight. Lytle is 55 and Gibson 56. It was Gibson, Bill, who made the play, and he's quite an athlete. He was one of those Notre Damers after the Orange Bowl last year that joined Digger Phelps' basketball team. They helped out in the hardwoods as well. At halftime, we'll update you on all the scores around the country. Highlights from Gail Gardner in New York. Ahmad Rashad is with us along the sidelines here at Notre Dame. It's the sesquicentennial celebration beginning now at Notre Dame, the 150th year. The university first opened in 1842. John Tyler was the president, and Pope Gregory the 16th was in the Vatican. Father Edward Sorin, along with 7 brothers, 4 of them Irish, founded Notre Dame. And then they would play their first football game in 1887 against Michigan, and would win their first football game in 1888 against Chicago of Harvard, or Harvard of Chicago, one of those two. And Goshen was on the schedule. They'll play a little tougher schedule now. A little tougher. Indiana deep in the hole, 3rd and 34.
Now you just don't want calamity at this point. No calamity.
Green goes long, a wobbly pass for grabs, and it's intercepted by Carter at the Notre Dame 29.
Obviously, that's not what you want. At that point, you just don't go for it. You just run time off the clock. Just run time off the clock. Now, Green had to go to his left to throw a ball, which is really tough. We lose sight of him, but he's coming left and having to throw to with his right arm. Now the ball's just up in the air, wobbling, and a play is made on it. 2 guys have a chance for it. So there's the ball. You can see that is not a pretty thing to see. But on the other hand, Green was asked to run to his left and throw with his right arm, which is very difficult.
Now 55 seconds left in the half, and the Irish and Meyer go for more. Forced to run the ball, and eats it at the 33-yard line. Matt Bamba, trailing the play, makes the tackle, the clock running.
Now we've seen them numerous times practicing this drill. They have set series of plays.
You get the timeout on the first down to move the chains. Meyer, plenty of time, and no one over here except for Lake Dawson, who was already out of bounds. That stops the clock with 29 seconds left in the half.
Mike Middleton, cornerback, pushed Dawson out of bounds very smoothly before the ball was thrown. Very nice defensive play. Rick Meyer wanted to throw in a seam between Middleton and Brown, and it was very well done by Middleton.
Yeah, the Irish have done something they were unable to accomplish all last year. The much maligned pass defense of Notre Dame did not intercept 3 passes in a game. They have 3 in the first half today. Irish with 34 yards of offense in the first quarter and over 200 yards here in the second quarter, leading 28-17. The screen, and it's wide open. It's Bettis, the big fullback. Boom, to the 50 and out of bounds at the Indiana 49-yard line. Mark Hagan finally made the tackle. 20 seconds left in the half. Boy, that's Bettis.
Did you see Jurkovic? I want to get that correct.
No, Jurkovic,
okay. Pulling down the field on a screen pass from the right guard position. He's going to get down the field and throw a beautiful block right out in front. Look at this nice movement, cutting his guy down, cutting his feet out from under him. Now, there is a first-round draft choice if I've ever seen one.
Hoosiers looking for the pass with 20 seconds left in the half, and Meyer will accommodate. Gets away from 3 men. Somebody must be open. Now he unloads in the middle of the field to Smith. Caught at the Indiana 15 with 7 seconds left, and a flag is down.
He might have been beyond the line of scrimmage or one of his linemen. But what poise. What a difference between Rick Meyer this year and a year ago. Even watching the Orange Bowl practices, this guy has really come along.
It's against Notre Dame, a preliminary signal, an ineligible man downfield. That would figure all that time, a lineman slipping.
And they may have assumed he was going to run with the ball at one point. So they started to block
An eligible
downfield.
receiver against the offense. An eligible receiver ran downfield and turned around and came back. Repeat, first down.
Caught him coming back home. Just like a good parent should, I guess.
Now, Peter Voss, the quarterback coach, has done a marvelous job with Meyer. And just Meyer's matured physically. I think that's the #1 factor. But look at the poise this man has compared to a year ago. It's just dramatically improved. That's why you have to think there's greatness there. Now, again, he'll pull off, look downfield. Now, look at the touch on this throw, right over the top of defenders. And he can take a chance on an interception there because time's running out in the half. Only 3 seconds left.
That would have put him in field goal range. A nice thing was written about Meyer that with his weights, he can bench 320 pounds. That his uniform size is getting bigger. It is bigger this year, but his helmet size is the same.
No question. He is a calm, relaxed, mature appearing kind of a guy. He has a presence about him. Calms people.
I'd like to remind you as we cover the Notre Dame home schedule this year, our second date will be 2 weeks from today when Notre Dame will host rival Michigan State. I guess on the Notre Dame schedule, at least for the opposition, everyone is a rival. It's a big game, and the Spartans and George Pearls will be here at Notre Dame Stadium to seek revenge for last year's disappointing loss when Lou Holtz pulled some of his magic and the Irish beat the Spartans. That's 2 weeks from today, 1 o'clock Eastern time. 3 seconds still left. Time for a final play, and Lou Holtz has sent in his Notre Dame special. You look at famed Notre Dame Stadium, 59,075. It's been sold out every game since 1974. It could be twice as big, and they'd sell it out. And down the line, maybe in a few years, some seats will be added.
Well, you'd assume the Hail Mary type pass will be thrown down the sideline. Now they have practiced a screen pass off to the right here.
Tony Smith, Lake Dawson, and Ray Griggs all to the left. And they throw left. Incomplete to Dawson. He would have been out of bounds anyway. And that is, well, only 1 second. That can't be, can it? Can you have a 1 second play? Wait a minute.
Wow. Now 1 second off of that. Now I can't believe it.
Oh, they had reset the clock to 5 seconds from the 3 earlier. That's what happened.
Oh, I can see it now, him throwing that deep out pattern, because before you know it'd be basically useless unless the tackle was broken or something. But now they'll have to go down the field.
That would have been just to set up a long field goal. Now the final play, 2 seconds. And they give it to Culver. Say, go get him through that broken defense of Indiana playing for the pass, but the Hoosiers read it well. John Miller makes the tackle. The end of a high-scoring first half. John Dockery down with Lou Holtz.
Thank you, Dick. And we're just walking off the field with Lou. A strange first half. The offense, some big plays, but kind of inconsistent.
Well, they're a good football team. We haven't played as well as what we'd like to on offense, but I don't think you can complain. It's a half a game. Defensively, we're having some trouble adjusting to certain things, but, you know, we just have to go into halftime and regroup.
Some defensive lapses?
Well, you know, they give scholarships over there, too, and they play well. It's what we talked about yesterday. You know, we are human.
Okay, thanks, Coach. All right, Gail Gardner, back to you in New York now.
All right, John, thank you very much. Coming up, we will have scores and some early highlights from around college football. We'll also talk with Florida State coach Bobby Bowden, whose top-ranked Seminoles may finally capture the national title that has eluded Bowden in his 16 years at Tallahassee. And Ahmad will rejoin us for a visit with former Notre Dame quarterback Terry Hanratty. We'll get to that right after these minutes.
Notre Dame began 150 years ago, and its people still talk about the same things: inquiry, belief, and community.
But by research, I don't mean holding up in a lab with test tubes and instruments, but encouraging creativity in the discovery of new worlds, be they science or philosophy or theology, or art or whatever. That is an area that I think is our next greatest challenge.
It's still the same old story, a fight for love and glory, a case of do or die. The fundamental things apply as time goes by.
And welcome back to halftime. We're going to run through some of these scores for you. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, as you know, now leading at the half. The score there is 28-17. Elsewhere, Penn State, number 5 at home against the Cincinnati Bearcats, and they are leading big, 74-0. In that game, Sam Gash, 2 short touchdown runs. Tony Saka has also passed for 2 touchdowns. And we should tell you that Penn State linebacker Andre Powell suffered a neck injury. They took him to the hospital and checked out the injury. They gave him some x-rays, and right now they're telling us that the x-rays proved negative. It was number 8 Clemson against Appalachian State, and Clemson Tigers leading there 34-0. The Mountaineers, by the way, just 18 yards in total offense in the first half. Mississippi State, the Bulldogs under first-year coach Jackie Sherrill back in football against 13th-ranked Texas, and Mississippi State leading there by the score of 13-3. Now, Sleepy Robinson, 35-yard touchdown pass to Tretis Anderson, the big play in that game. Number 14, Nebraska at home against the Utah State Aggies, and the Huskers leading 17-7. Running back Scott Baldwin, a 29-yard touchdown run. Quarterback Mickey Joseph to Vincent Hawkins, a 22-yard touchdown pass. Nebraska, by the way, has also fumbled 6 times, but still leading big now, 24-7. Iowa Hawkeyes, the number 15th ranked Hawkeyes at home against Hawaii, and they are rolling over the Rainbows by the score of 50-3. In that game, Iowa's Matt Rogers passing for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also rushed for 67 yards, and running back Lou Montgomery has also rushed for 3 touchdowns. Number 24, Syracuse against Vanderbilt. That is our first final, as the Orange have won that game by the score of 37-10. Head coaching debut for Jerry DiNardo of Vanderbilt and for Paul Pasqualoni of Syracuse. Third quarter, Vandy quarterback Jeff Brothers connects with Anthony Carter. Now, he is hit by Greg Walker. The ball pops loose. Tony Montemura recovers and scampers 36 yards for the score. Syracuse leading 20-10, and then Syracuse continuing to roll. This is Quadre, the Rocket, the missile Ishmael, the Rocket's brother. He takes it on the reverse, and he has gone 31 yards for the score, his first career touchdown. Syracuse goes on to win. The final was 37-10. Elsewhere, the Pitt Panthers coming off that victory over West Virginia last week, and they are leading big over Southern Miss, 22-0. Pitt quarterback Alex Van Pelt, 2 touchdown passes to Chris Boyer in that game. West Virginia Mountaineers trying to rebound. They're at home against Bowling Green, and they are leading now in the third quarter. The score is 24-17. ACC matchup at College Park. The Maryland Terps leading the Cavaliers now by the score of 17-6. There was a 4-yard touchdown run in that game by Troy Jackson. And Virginia Tech against NC State, the Wolfpack at home. In that game, NC State leading 7-0. Each team, by the way, losing fumbles in the end zone. Purdue at home against Eastern Michigan. First-year head coach Jimmy Coletto for the Boilermakers, and they are leading big now. That game in the second quarter, 21-0. Purdue quarterback Eric Hunter, a 27-yard touchdown run, and linebacker Jim Schwantz, a 66-yard interception return for a touchdown. Central Michigan against Southwestern Louisiana, the nickname game of the day, the Chippewas and the Raging Cajuns. Right now, Central Michigan leading by the score of 14-10, and that, by the way, is Dick Enberg's alma mater. And Iowa State, the Cyclones, at home against Eastern Illinois, they now lead by the score of 14-0 in the second quarter. And one final score, Colorado State and Air Force. Colorado State leading in that game 14-7. Colorado State's head coach, someone you know, Earl Bruce, as he's looking on first quarter action. Colorado State's Kevin Verdugo, this is on the quarterback option, takes it in from 6 yards out. Colorado State leads 7-0, but Air Force able to come back. Rob Perez, he takes it in from a yard back, and that tied it at 7, but again, it is now 14-7 Colorado State as the Rams take the lead. Verdugo with a 15-yard pass to Billy Gonzalez to put them up 14-7. All right, more scores as we head to a break, and when we return, we will talk with Bobby Bowden, coach of the #1 ranked Seminoles of Florida State, right after these messages.
"私の言っていることがわからないのはあなただけじゃないですよ。日本で企業に勤めているアメリカ人のほとんどもわからないのです。実のところ、アメリカ政府の外交官の多くが外国語が話せないのです。それなのに、在米外交官のほとんどは英語を流暢に話しています。It's getting tough for America, and one of the most important universities in America just got tougher. Indiana University, we're all for you."
Monday, it's an NBC special preview when the Fresh Prince shakes up the new season with an... But don't worry, he'll be fine.
I'm a grown man. I'm under a table clutching a teddy bear, okay? I am not fine.
Then, we've shown you them all summer.
Did the lens break there?
Now watch Mark and Brian do whatever it takes to sing and dance with the Temptations. The Adventures of Mark and Brian after an all-new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air previewing Monday on NBC.
And welcome back to our halftime report. Since 1987, Florida State has been the acknowledged bridesmaid of the NCAA, finishing second twice, third and fourth in the hunt for the national title. Well, in his 16th season in Tallahassee, Bobby Bowden may have his best team ever and was the preseason favorite in most polls to win the national championship that has eluded him. Well, making sure they didn't get ambushed out of the gate as they did in '88 against Miami and in '89 against Southern Miss and Clemson, the Seminoles opened this year beating BYU pretty convincingly, 44-28. Well, their quest continues tonight against Tulane, and a short while ago, I spoke with Bobby Bowden and asked him what he has learned about the pitfalls that prevent him from winning a national title.
Well, I think there are pitfalls because to be in the race, you got to know how to act. And listening to all of the bragging that goes on about your team and all the good things that are said about your team, that can be very distracting. The fact that everybody wants to talk to you, everybody, again, it's very distracting for the players. And I think you have to learn how to live and act like a #1. We didn't know how last time. We're doing a little bit better this time.
Do you honestly feel that this may be your best shot in the 16 years that you've been at Florida State?
No, I don't feel like it's my best shot at ever. I've had great shots the last 4 years. This is another shot, and I hope we can get a shot every year, but I don't think there is a best shot. You go out and play the best you can, and if you're good enough and can get a couple of breaks, I think that's the key to it. Getting a couple of breaks, you can do it, but you can be darn good and not quite make it. And that's kind of what we've been the last 4 years. One of these days, I think it'll happen to Florida State. If we can step around the top, one of those days, those putts are going to start dropping.
Now, you have certainly said that you're not obsessed with the idea of winning the national title, but I take a look at someone like Dean Smith in basketball and all the pressure that was on him to finally pull it off. Are you feeling some of that, to get the ultimate achievement?
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. No, I'm just happy to be here, In other words, I like to win. I hate to lose ball games. It just really hurts me to lose a ball game. But I've never worried about a national championship. I would like to win one for Florida State University and for our players. I'd love for them to win one. I'd love to have one. But, gee, I'm not obsessed with it. I mean, there's more to life than that.
Absolutely true, but it's not going to be easy this year once again. Among the opponents ahead on the heavyweight FSU schedule, Michigan, Louisville, Miami, and Florida. And be sure to be with us tomorrow on NBC for NFL Live. O.J. Simpson visits with former Notre Dame quarterback Joe Montana, battling his way back to the 49ers from another injury to his elbow. And then after NFL Live, it's doubleheader Sunday. Most of you will see Pittsburgh at Buffalo in the early game, followed by San Diego at San Francisco. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. All right, when we return, Ahmad will visit with former Notre Dame quarterback Terry Hanratty, a star at South Bend in the mid-'60s, as Notre Dame Saturday rolls on after these words from your local station.
Sunday, it's adventure for the kid in all of us.
Ready, Simon? I was born for this. It ain't natural.
It's Erie, Indiana, premiering Sunday, September 15th on NBC.
After you've put in a full week at work and dealt with the frantic pace of life, it's finally time for delivery of the old Sunday paper. Maybe it's time for a change.
Did you know the cost of 2 business calls from these San Diego pet stores to Denver may surprise you?
Of course they're easy to beat.
With AT&T long distance, your small business can get the quality you trust at extremely competitive prices.
They really do make perfect pets.
Even though the other company would like you to believe, they always save you lots of money.
That's my big savings?
That's it.
Not exactly the catch of the day.
Competitive price, another AT&T advantage.
In the 1940s, Merchants Tire and Auto Centers began selling Firestone tires. In the 1970s, we began to grow rapidly by guaranteeing the lowest prices. And starting in the 80s, Merchants promised to mount your Firestone tires in 29 minutes or less. Right now, Merchants has Firestone tires starting as low as $28.95. And soon, Merchants will have 150 stores in 5 states. Just see what we do in the next century.
Merchants Tire and Auto Centers, for service that you trust, guaranteed.
According to St. Aloysius Pastiches, a Sunday paper should be somber, black and white, and take 24 hours to read.
Maybe it's time for a change.
Touting Thomas, too much. Saturday night, 7:30.
Welcome back to Notre Dame Stadium, where the Irish are leading the Indiana Hoosiers by a score of 28-7. Now, one of the great things about college football are the bands. Now, if you were with us before the game, you had a chance to listen to the Notre Dame band. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the sounds of the Indiana Hoosier band. There you have it, the Indiana Hoosier Band. Now, if you were with us in pregame, you heard some legendary names like Gipp. But we also have a man joining us who is a legend in his own right, maybe from a different area.
Terry Hanratty. Terry, thanks for being here with us.
I'm a lot younger than George Gipville. I mean, sometimes I don't look like it.
Yeah, but you're a legend in your own right anyway. You know what? In talking about being a quarterback here at Notre Dame, there's pressure of being a quarterback anywhere, but here I think it's even a little bit greater.
Well, Matt, I think that's really a given. I think that's one of the big factors that brings quarterbacks to Notre Dame. Because you know you're going to play a wonderful schedule, and you know that every team you're going to play is going to be at the top of their game. So I think it's a more incentive, and I think you really learn to deal with the pressure.
How much pressure is on a guy like Rick Meyer that comes in here with the legendary names that have played quarterback before him?
Well, I think there's pressure, but I think Rick is the kind of guy that can handle it, and I think he really uses it as a stepping stone. I think it's more of a challenge to, you know, to beat some of the records that some of the old-timers that have been here.
What about as a player? How do you see him?
Well, I see him as a wonderful quarterback. I would like to see Lou open up the offense a little more and give Rick the opportunity to throw the ball. And I think if he can incorporate Rick Meyer throwing to Derek Brown, I think Notre Dame would be almost unstoppable on offense.
I could sit here and pretend like it isn't hot, but it's hot, man. Now, tell me, it's got to be hot for you, too. You have 2 daughters here at Notre Dame and 1 daughter at Indiana. Have you been, like, moving around from side to side during the course of the game?
Well, I'm not going to be retiring, that's for sure, with those 3 tuitions. But my oldest daughter is at Notre Dame, Kelly, and my daughter, Becky, is a junior here. And then I have a daughter, her twin sister, who's a junior at Indiana. So we keep the 2 incorporated. Plus, I have my fiance with me here, Kelly Donahue. So it's a wonderful weekend.
A lot of great memories for you. I know coming up we have the Michigan State game. If you could think back of maybe the best, biggest memory when you were playing here, what would it be?
I think the Michigan State game really has to go down because I think it was, we won a national championship that year. And I still say 25 years later, it's amazing the impact that that's had on so many people's lives. Where they come up to me, it seems like monthly, no matter where I am in the country. You know, I know exactly where I was when that game was played. And I think those 2 teams were on the field. If you look at who went on to the pros, who went on to the Hall of Fame, there are a lot of players.
All right, you know, we're going to have you back with Bubba Smith at halftime during that game. So that'll be more memories.
Every time I hear Bubba's name, my shoulder starts to hurt from the separation.
All right, now, thanks for joining us, Ben. Let's go down to John Dockery, who's with Bill Mallory.
Thank you, Ahmad. Coach, you started off well. You got ahead, and then some things happened.
Well, defensively, we broke down on a couple plays there, and we've got to get it corrected. You know, we've got to keep them contained defensively, and if we do, then we're in the ball game. That's real key the second half. Important thing is we come out here, and by golly, we get after them the second half with just good, hard, get-after football.
What kind of specific adjustments did you make?
Well, we went over some things there. We got to deal with their option because they gave us problems on that. They got 2 big plays there with Meyer, and we've certainly got to shut that down. Went over some other things there, so we've just got to come out and be sounder the second half.
Thank you, Coach Bill Mallory. Okay, back up to you, Dick and Bill.
All right, Doc, and let's go right to that option sequence with Rick Meyer one time tossing to Culver for a touchdown, then the next time he keeps it for a touchdown of his own.
Rick is such a beautiful athlete, and this demonstrates a different Rick Meyer than a year ago. The poise on this play, keeping the ball, keeping alert, knowing that option's there just at the last second, pitching it out. Now, it's a nice catch of the option, but I like the movement by Meyer, aside from the passing.
And Meyer, who also showed his great arm during the course of the first half, this time he'll catch Indiana looking for the pitch.
Well, he shows speed, he shows poise, coming around the outside. Now, Bettis does a beautiful job of blocking. What a block. Now this is just going to be pure speed, reading the blockers, and then sprinting. So Rick Myers brings to the game a great passing arm, a lot of poise, and great athletic ability. A Roger Staubach, in my opinion.
Now, Indiana, on the other side, had the ball 6 times in the first half, and they didn't punt. They had 3 touchdowns, and they were intercepted 3 times, and Vaughn Dunbar led all rushers in the first half. He had over 70 yards, and a lot of them were tough yards. Obviously, Notre Dame keying on him.
These are tough yards. Now, look at the balance. Arm on the ground. Look at the determination. A fierce competitor. And he has a lot of the tools you need to be a good NFL back.
Well, that was 10 yards, earning all of those. Notre Dame, with its famed fight song, Lou Holtz and the Irish ready to take the field. They'll kick off in the second half, just moments away. Notre Dame seemingly unstoppable on offense, and that was predictable. They moved the ball very well against most all opponents last year, and that veteran offensive line is going to open big holes and protect Meyer well. And here they come, and the Irish fans salute their heroes as we're ready for the second half.
take a look at the first half statistics here at Notre Dame Stadium. And as you can see, the total yards almost even. IU 256 yards. In fact, Culver's short run at the end of the first half gave the Irish the lead by 4 yards. Key in the game, 3 turnovers, all pass interceptions. Trent Green picked off on those 3 occasions, once by Demetrius DeBose, the Irish linebacker, who rambled 49 yards for the first Notre Dame touchdown. That's the difference. And Green has countered with a couple of rushing scores of his own, one from 5 yards, some tough running on an option, and the other on a 1-yard sneak. 11 for 19, but 3 of those falling in enemy hands.
Well, the Notre Dame defense of a year ago had the same exact problem. A lot of intensity, a lot of talent in a sense, some of it inexperienced, but a lot of everything there. But the bottom line, they can't stop the forward pass at this moment. Now, maybe the adjustments in the second half will do it. Maybe as the season progresses, that will improve. But this isn't going to lead the Irish to a national championship is equal to a world's championship. It's not going to lead them there unless they can deal with that.
The Irish will kick to Indiana to open the second half, and deploy deep for Bill Mallory's Hoosiers. Thomas Lewis on the near side, and Vaughn Dunbar on the far side is Craig Hendrick ready to kick it off. Right down the middle, Dunbar moves up to the 3. Behind the wedge to the 20. To the 30 as he kicks out of a tackle. And he's to the 39-yard line before Rod Smith can wrestle him down. Good return by Vaughn Dunbar. Hoosiers start from their own 39.
Now that single play would arouse the NFL scouts. That single play. He showed explosion, quickness, determination, and excellent instincts. Now, you'll see him come up the field using his blocking, but he sees something and he takes it. Now look at the knee action up in the air. Now look at him put that pad down and take people back 5 yards. There's everything you need there in the ultimate NFL back. Maybe his size will be a limitation, but otherwise the guy is a prospect.
6 feet tall, 207 pounds. He gets the call on the first down at the 40, out to the 46-yard line before Greg Davis can come up from the strong safety to make the tackle. A gain of about 7 for Dunbar, who's at 80 yards for the day.
He came off the blocks of Todd Smith and Sean Harper on the backside, starting right, breaking left, and those people sustaining their blocks very, very nicely. This was the plan. Now, we've seen it begin to evolve in the second quarter and early in the third quarter. See if they can keep it up.
At Northeastern Oklahoma A&M, he had a chance to meet Barry Sanders, he told us, and has followed Sanders' career. Now great with the Lions. Dunbar would like to emulate him in not only his on-the-field manner, but off the field. Quite a guy is Sanders, and meeting Dunbar, good-looking, looks you in the eye, and a loyal guy. He could have gone a lot of places out of junior college, but he had promised Mallory after JC he'd go to Indiana, and he followed on that word.
Excellent choice. Now they're using him. He's getting all the playing time, all the notoriety, the success, and a great education.
Ball in Notre Dame territory as Bill Mallory's club picks up a first down off the opening kickoff of this second half. Lewis right, Beatty left.
Nice
Good
fake.
play action.
Nice fake.
All the time in the world to go to Lewis, and it's over the top, interference on Carter.
Now Carter was going for the ball, Dick. He was going for the big interception, not playing into the receiver in any way. Now from our vantage point, it looked like an excellent defensive play. He's going to go over the top. Now he's not attempting to work into that receiver. He's just going for the ball.
Flag goes down, and with it the 15-yard penalty on interference and the automatic first down.
Defensive pass interference. 15-yard penalty, previous spot, automatic first down.
That takes us inside the Notre Dame 35.
Well faked. Now that's well coached and well faked. The pass itself most likely was a little bit late. Green's been late throwing the ball most of the day. That'll be cleared up as the season progresses, but well done.
Carter from St. Petersburg, Florida, thought he'd made a good play. So did the fans.
No, they're going to have to get at least 3 out of this drive to stay in the game. It's hot out there. Notre Dame has more depth. Indiana's going to have to score when they get their opportunities. This has to be one of them.
Out of a triple right formation, Green throws underneath to Lewis. Good running by Lewis. And he's to the 21-yard line.
It looked like he was in deep trouble. It looked like the pass was going to be another problem. But Lewis cut back behind everybody. Now, he's given a lot of room in his own defense as he breaks into the flat. The Notre Dame people feel they can come up on the ball when it's caught. But now he completely fools people by cutting all the way back through the pursuit.
Both Greg Davis and DeBose unable to get to him initially. Pete Bursich, number 47, finally in on the tackle of Lewis.
It sure take a lot of punishment doing it, but that was the play. Blitz inside.
First down, Dunbar gives the call. Oh, as he hammered Troy Ridgely down low. And coming up to assist on that tackle was LaShane Sadler playing at the safety spot.
Both inside backers blitz right up the middle. DeBose taking a blocker out of it. Flanagan coming from one side. Very, very nicely done. Now they just caught the right play with the right defense.
Second unit defense on the field for Lou Holtz. Ridgely anchoring that defensive line. 2nd and 9. Indiana trailing 28-17. Start of the second half. Smith on a blitz. Green gets away, looks off the defense, and then gets it to the tight end, Rod Coleman, who was the busy man in the first half, and Coleman with another catch, his 6th of the day.
Again, they're faking left and coming back right, and nobody's there. You'll see the fake, and then coming back to the outside on this side, and no one is there defensively because everyone is going to be pursuing to the right. Everybody going that way, nothing left. Nice play on the outside, dealing with the blitzer, and nobody out there to cover it. So Rod Smith had a chance for a sack, barely missed it because of Green's agility to avoid right at the last second.
They can pick up a first down without a touchdown.
Nope, a delay.
Dunbar and a delay. And finds nothing at all except blue jerseyed Notre Dame defenders. 81 Eric Jones.
Eric Jones is what a young prospect. He's getting bigger every year. They say he's 250 now. He's probably about 240 pounds. But he's got quickness. And Lou was talking about him, remember, last year in the Orange Bowl. He said, now, this is a prospect, but he's going to have to fill out. So you see him a year from now, and you may see an NFL prospect, but conceivably a Notre Dame All-American. Right now, a little bit light, can get knocked off the line a little bit too easily because of the weight.
Give him a yard on the last play. 2nd and 9. Flags are down. As going into the end zone is Dunbar. Will it count? Flag dropped early at the line of scrimmage. Dunbar, no one near him. It is a motion against Indiana. No score.
Now that was well executed. These are the things that really hurt, because you're not going to get that clean a play again. And once you've run that play, it's unlikely that they're going to let you get away with it again.
Illegal motion against the offense. One man was going down while the other man went into motion. It's 2 men in motion.
Just a simple little technicality like that, and you practice all year. Now we're going to see people moving. There's a man going down on our left side as a man in motion moves. So the problem was right out here, and just that little movement. Two men cannot be moving at once.
Airline call, but it cost the Hoosiers a touchdown for the moment. Now 2nd down and 14.
There's Jones.
Green, who almost threw it in the arms of 49 Anthony Peterson. Eric Jones was applying the pressure.
Eric Jones finally got by Harper that time, and Harper's been doing a good job on him most of the day, but finally he started breaking it. This is what can tend to happen with a team that isn't deep. People are playing longer than the opponent, on the field more, and they begin to tire.
Joe, here now you got 3rd down and 14. You figure the Green's going to pass. Is this where you gamble, bring a couple of blitzers or not?
Yeah, I'd bring everybody. That from this situation, you and I are in. It looks like they are. They've got a lot of people near the line of scrimmage.
Lewis to the right. They give to Dunbar. Caught in the backfield. Breaks one tackle. Ooh, boy. He's not afraid to go into the defense, but gets short yardage inside the 15 before Peterson and Smith team up on the tackle, and the field goal unit comes on.
Well, they were smart enough this time to figure they'll get 3. out of this series. They had a touchdown, but at least 3, and not take a big gamble and have it blow up in their face. So if they can get 3 out of it, they're staying right with the Irish.
29-yard attempt.
Again, that narrow field goal, those narrow crossbars are going to be a little tougher on this guy.
Out of Matt Pasecki's hold. And Bunnell drills it. Boy, that ball just skyrockets off his foot. And Indiana, just as they started the game with a field goal, open the second half with a 3. It's 28-20 Notre Dame. Hoosiers not happy with just the 3. They had the possible 7, but the touchdown nullified by penalty. We'll be right back.
It's a car born of intelligent engineering. It's 100,000 ideas fused into one. It's responsive, innovative, refined. It's a driver's side airbag and anti-lock brakes. Introducing the all-new 88 Royale LS. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
I can't tell you how it feels when you're way out there on your own tracking the bad guys. How it feels leading a skilled team that's the eyes and ears of the whole outfit. When all your training is coming alive. But finding those tanks and telling the air cavalry right where to hit them, I can tell you exactly how that feels.
It's time to review your insurance needs with MetLife. Get Met. It pays.
Aspen Cologne for men. A compelling new experience for women. Aspen, now.
Notre Dame football is brought to you by Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering. By MetLife, get Met, it pays. By Head & Shoulders, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. And by the good tires, good service, and good people at your nearby Goodyear retailer.
The Irish gunning for their 14th consecutive win against a Big Ten opponent. Lou Holtz has not lost to a Big Tenner since his first year early in that season when both Michigan and Michigan State defeated Notre Dame. Indiana drawing 3 points closer after losing a touchdown on a penalty. Bunnell to kick it off. Clint Johnson deep for Notre Dame. Aims it toward the sidelines again. Johnson at the 6. Lots of speed. Breaks some tackles and crosses the 30-yard line before a trio of Freeman Crimson tacklers can drop him. Troy Mason, number 5, a key tackler. Myra comes on, and an interested viewer is with John Dockery.
And Dick, you see the button there, number 3, Ken and Karen Myers' favorite Notre Dame quarterback. Karen, let me start with you. This week has been kind of a disruptive one. What's it been like for Rick and the family in terms of police incidents?
It's been really difficult. I felt like it was probably an all-time low for a while for Rick because he thought he was doing everything right, and then they said no, that he wasn't, until it got proven differently. So it's been a stress on all of us, but now it's over, and we're grateful for that.
Ken, what about its effect on his performance, and what about his performance today?
Well, Rick has always maintained a level keel, and I think that he's playing very much within himself, and I didn't think this would bother him. His personality is such that he's got a job to do out here on the grass, and he's focused in on what his responsibility is, and I think he's had a real good first half and hope he has a better second half.
I would agree with you. Okay, Dick.
All right, thanks to the Myers. Both parents attended Eastern Michigan. Ken was a baseball player there and then a highly successful coach at Goshen, Indiana, and left when Rick entered high school, decided it wasn't the right time to be the head coach. So let somebody else handle this promising star who grew up a Michigan fan. Thought he would play for Michigan. Jim Harbaugh is his role model. Was a Lion fan and a Michigan fan. And Michigan is underway now. Boston College, no score early in that one. And Washington Stanford about to start as well. The give is to Rodney Culver, hit in the backfield for no gain or loss as Greg Farrell, who led the Hoosiers last year and tackles behind the line of scrimmage, makes another one here.
Special hit made by Greg Farrell.
You know, Greg Farrell was thought that Rick was coming to Indiana. He was the guy that toured Rick around Indiana every time he visited when Rick went to the quarterback camps. So Greg was a little disappointed, but at least he gets a chance to play against him.
Graham College update, Syracuse a winner today. Meyer getting out of trouble and finally tackled from behind as he reaches a couple of yard gain, not to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and about 12 for the Irish. Other scores on our Fram College football scoreboard. Pittsburgh late having trouble with Southern Miss after their big win at West Virginia. West Virginia trying to rally after losing last week. Maryland a winner against the Cavaliers. North Carolina State 7-0. And Purdue at the half against Eastern Michigan. Central Michigan leading Southwestern Louisiana by 4 late. Myra with a screen underneath, complete to Dawson. And Dawson cutting back to the 47-yard line. Brought down by Jim Summerall.
Well, we were waiting for that play. We've seen every time we've seen the Notre Dame practice, they've always finished with that 2 or 3 times. It's like a downfield screen play where the receivers go down and set up to block. Then the receiver comes underneath. See the other men going by. You even saw Jerkovich downfield to make a block. So they time it for the receiver to come down the line late with a number of blockers getting out in front of him.
It was a play designed for Rocket Ismail. There's the throw to Derek Brown and the big tight end second catch. And he's to the Indiana 34-yard line before Damon Watts can trip him up.
Same play that Indiana's been working against Notre Dame. That's why you wonder why either team can't stop that. But inherently, because of the 4-man line, they're getting that tight end out late. Starting to play the other way, and then out comes Meyer in this case to his right with no one with his tight end.
Derek Brown, who caught 12 passes as a freshman for Lou Holtz, and 13, then 15. Boston College scores early. The Eagles against the Wolverines. First down, Indiana 34. Tony Brooks, 4 yards to the 30.
Just think of having a team with Brooks as a backup, let alone Willie Clark off the bench.
Who hasn't played yet today,
no.
Clark.
But Brooks, with all that talent, a broken foot in '88 that stopped him from maybe greatness, but he's back. So there's the depth there offensively that it'll take to sustain him through the year.
Ohio State against Arizona, quick touchdown. 2nd and 6. Meyer guns complete. The other tight end, Irv Smith from Browns Mill, New Jersey, has his first catch of 91.
A gambling defense by the Hoosiers, and you can understand it. They've got to stop this drive. Meyer's picking them apart. They brought people in. The tight end again was wide open. You talk about tight ends, Dick. Derek Brown, Irv Smith, Oscar McBride, who I haven't seen in the game yet. But there are 3 tight ends that are among the very best in college. They're all NFL prospects. And one is senior, one is junior, one is sophomore.
They're all 6'5" or taller. They're all around, well, from 235 to 252 Brown weighs. Right in the middle of the Hoosier line with Jerome Bettis. Bettis, we told you, is from a family of bowlers. A sister was a Michigan State junior champion. His brother was a doubles champion. We asked Jerome, well, how about you? He said, well, before I got in high school, I carried about a 180 average. I had a high of 277. And now it's football, and it's all strikes and no spares for Jerome.
Well, you know, it's paid off for him, too. No Pop Warner football for this guy because of his studies. And as a youngster, he got those work habits in the classroom that have finally resulted in him being at Notre Dame.
He gets the call again, and the answer is to the 14-yard line. Larry McDaniel, defensive tackle from St. Louis, makes the stop for Mallory's Hoosiers.
Bettis plays, I've got this written here, I can remember, nose guard, linebacker, running back, tackle, played them all during his high school career, and finally ends up, of course, as a fullback.
Yeah, but his eyes really lit up when he said, what position? Linebacker. Oh, yes, his eyes still have a lot of linebacker in me anytime Holtz needs one. Oh, Bettis at fullback, Brooks at tailback. 3rd down, about 3.5. It's Brooks. First down and goal. Notre Dame at the 8-yard line. Gene McGuire, number 76, the center, cleared the way.
Herb Smith, what we would call a U-man, the weak side tight end, Herb Smith, the junior we just spoke of, did a beautiful job of blocking. He just did a beautiful job of blocking. Meanwhile, you've got Taylor and Knapp pulling from the other side. But you see him go down inside on his man and just take him down the line. Chris Holder just took him right down the line and opened the whole side of the field up.
And McGuire right behind him, peeling off the linebacker. Notre Dame 28, Indiana 20. The Irish hits the Hoosier 8. It's Brooks to the 4-yard line. Jim Summerall and Larry McDaniel. I think McDaniel down low tripped him up initially. It's 2nd and goal, Notre Dame. Well, the punters for these two teams might have long seasons. They're going to get a little weary sitting on the pines the way that each are able to move the ball.
Well, they may practice tomorrow because they're not doing much today.
Brooks out, and the Irish come in with Bettis, Mahalko, and Culver.
Typically, they give to the fullback here. Oh, he's going to keep it.
Meyer. Then the toss to Culver, out of bounds at the 1. Watts made the tackle.
Typically, Dick, they give it to the fullback. I'm not sure that wasn't a broken play. Meyer was smart enough or quick-witted enough to keep it, then run the option. But I think the ball was supposed to go to Bettis. But they get into that full house tee with those big backs and those massive tight ends and just take it to you. And this is when it's tough on Indiana because they can't substitute the way Notre Dame can.
12th play of the drive, 3rd and goal from the 1. Full house backfield again. Whoops, Notre Dame will get a 5. Justin Hall, 73 on the right side of the line, just a bit too eager, anticipating that snap count.
Now that can help. You see a defender move, then the offensive guys begin to move.
That ball, illegal procedure against the offensive team. Repeat, 3rd down.
Well, Irv Smith and Justin Hall both charging offside, so it's 3rd and goal. Changes the play call, and Culver comes back in with a word from the sidelines.
Well, this gives Illinois a chance.
I'll try
Am I all right? Illinois has a chance, by the way, wherever they are. But this gives Indiana a chance. It really does. Now, they're in that full house. They do have a play pass off this where they can fake and then throw.
Meyer on the option. He takes it himself. Touchdown!
The blocking is excellent on the left side. Brown does a nice job. Meyer makes a good decision, then extends himself with only one defensive back to take him. He's bound to fall through it and get the score.
Hendricks, extra point is good on that touchdown. Tony Brooks, number 40, threw the key block on the corner, allowing Meyer to cut inside for his 2nd rushing touchdown today. Lou Holtz likes it. So do the fans. The Irish now by 15.
We invested $100 million in the latest diagnostic equipment. And another $5 million a year training our expert technicians to use it. We're Goodyear certified auto service retailers, and we believe everything we do, from tires to tune-ups, should live up to the most exacting standards of all. Yours and ours. Good tires, good service, good people, Goodyear.
Maybe the reason more people switch to Glidden than any other paint in the last 5 years is because we've got the color they're looking for.
My brown eyes blue.
Glidden, a better way to paint. Maybe the reason more people switch to Glidden than any other paint in the last 5 years is because the end result always looks so beautiful.
Oh, so beautiful.
Glidden, a better way.
Introducing a car so intelligently engineered, its elegance and grace can be measured along these lines or graded on a curve. The 1992 Oldsmobile 88 Royale beautifully redefined and nimble enough to prove that a straight line isn't always the best way to get from point A to point B. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Monday, it's an NBC special preview when the Fresh Prince shakes up the new season with an... But don't worry, he'll be fine.
I'm a grown man. I'm under a table clutching a teddy bear. Okay? I am not fired.
Then, we've shown you them all summer.
Did the lens break there?
Now watch Mark and Brian do whatever it takes to sing and dance with the Temptations. The Adventures of Mark and Brian after an all-new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air previewing Monday on NBC.
1 year ago, a wing and a prayer helped Notre Dame capture a dramatic come-from-behind victory.
Caught by Adrian Gerald on a deflection. What a play!
In 2 weeks, these teams meet again as the Michigan State Spartans invade South Bend to battle the Fighting Irish. Notre Dame football is home on NBC.
32, 33, 34.
Leprechaun push-ups, 35 of them to celebrate each Notre Dame point. It's 35-20. Hendrick off the side of his foot to the near sidelines and out of bounds, and the 5-yard penalty against the Irish.
Ball goes out of bounds.
Looked like Hendrick really hit that one off line, almost missed it.
Yeah, he was trying to get into that corner. Well, Bill Mallory, in speaking to his team, do your best. Don't worry about winning or losing. Be sound. I think he can feel very good about that part of it. I think they've played well. I think they've been solid, sound, kept their poise. But now Green's going to have to throw to stay with Notre Dame. Any chance of winning is going to have to come on a big play or two. They've got some young receivers. Maybe they'll have a shot at it. But they have maintained their poise, and they have played up to their potential.
They take it 30 yards from the kick and at the 35-yard line, the collegiate rules, and Dunbar off the fake, and Green keeps it, goes deep for Lewis. Intercepted, the 4th Irish interception today, Rod Smith.
Smith was right there. You just can't throw the ball against a safety man in the middle. So they went for the post pattern, fake, but the safety man was just standing back there to make a play. And so just a miscalculation through, I guess, coaching, play calling, and certainly the decision that was made. They just can't throw it down to that guy. That was a nice job of faking. They do a beautiful job of that. Everything's fine. Good protection. Now when the ball's thrown, you see a safety man just come right over and make the play. So Smith was on the inside, Burris was on the outside.
Rod Smith, who had that key interception late to save the win against Tennessee last year. Meyer goes to work. Oh, hit from behind and fumbles. Free ball, and Notre Dame has recovered. One of the linemen got it at the 19, and Meyer, boy, the fans gasping. He's back up on his feet, but wobbly.
Well, he got the blitz from the backside. Troy Mason. Nobody touched him. Coming all the way from around the tight end position. Nobody there with a lot of speed. He makes the contact. Oh, then it comes right down the middle also. He gets up and handles that. He's a pretty good trooper.
And Justin Hall, the right lineman, at the right place to save the ball for Notre Dame. Back at the 19, a loss of 6. Mason making the defensive play. 4:58 left in the third. The give is to the big fullback Bess, and he powers his way to the 33. What a load, 247 pounds, this sophomore from Detroit.
Well, Lance Brown, the safety, was not about to come in low and have his head taken off, so we just got a ride. He got on the top and then just waited for Bettis to go down. Look at this power. What a load, and he's so tough to get to because he's just short enough that you can't get your pads under his pads.
Third down along 2. The Irish use 2 tight ends, Smith and Brown, to bookend the line. And timeout call by Meyer. So he'll come over and talk with Lou Holtz and straighten out the offensive call. 4:16 left in the third. Notre Dame by 15.
The power of intelligent engineering is routinely put to the test at Oldsmobile. And here's the result. Of all the Cutlass Sierras ever sold in the last 10 years, we can say 96% are still on the road. Safely say, Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
I got a meter.
Down, boy.
Oh, it's now or never.
Attention, shoppers. You're at a romantic dinner at her place. Candlelight, wine, something with a little spinach in it. And for dessert,
Come on.
humble pie. She sees your dandruff.
I don't have dandruff.
Fine. Use your regular shampoo.
I can't have dandruff.
Aisle 9.
You mean you use Head and Shoulders?
Yeah.
But you don't have dandruff.
Right. Neither will she.
Head and Shoulders.
Hi.
Because you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Your biggest competitor is working on a proposal for the same job you're after.
You want this to be enlarged?
They have about the same idea as you do.
Copy this slide.
The only difference is...
Let's print it.
They own a Canon color laser copier, and you don't. Who would you give the job to? If you think you can't afford a Canon color laser copier, maybe you can't afford to be without one. Call 1-800-OK-CANON.
And now, two television greats together for the first time.
James Garner, can I say what a pleasure it is to meet you?
Well, Robert Guillaume, let me say the pleasure's all mine.
I'm a really, really big fan of yours.
Well, I'm a huge fan of yours.
You know, Jim, I'm thrilled that we both have new shows on the same network.
Well, Bob, me too.
Because if we had to compete against each other, I'm afraid I'd bury you.
Well, I'd bury you worse.
James Garner and Man of the People, Robert Guillaume in Pacific Station, Sunday, September 15th on NBC.
He's carrying a gun.
The Steelers battle the Bills. The Chargers take on the 49ers. An NBC football doubleheader, Sunday.
Welcome back to Notre Dame. Well, some coaches can't even get 11 players organized. Well, here at Notre Dame, the entire student body in unison. This fall celebration football begins in this famed arena in 1991 on a glorious but hot September day. And Notre Dame leading 35-20. It's a 3rd down 2 play for the Irish, and it's Brooks for the first down and more. Tacklers with him out to the 41-yard line and keeping the Indiana offense on the sidelines.
Well, I think they're just going to take it to them now. It's that simple. But there are 2 big tight ends in the game and just use those offensive linemen. Joe Moore has done just an excellent job of fundamental teaching to these offensive linemen.
First down at the 46-yard line. Meyer to Brooks. Caught from the side. A good defensive play by Steve Perkins. 6'4" sophomore from New London, Missouri. Went to Mark Twain High School there.
Indiana has a history, and it's a good one, of bringing a cornerback or a safety from the outside. They're not ready to block those people. They don't see them that often, and he made the play.
The offense is dominated today. Indiana has not punted the football. Notre Dame only 2 punts. On 2nd and 9, Meyer going deep for Smith. Irv Smith. What a run by Smith. Look at that. Touchdown. Oh, my. Smith, an outfielder on the Notre Dame baseball team, has just hit a home run carrying Indiana tacklers the final 15 yards in an amazing effort. Hendrick with the extra point. A highlight play by Irv Smith. Let's see it again.
Well, the execution by the entire 11 guys was beautiful. Beautiful. Now, Smith's going straight up the field. And the play pass has fooled all the linebackers. Nobody slows him down. And then Meyer throws him a beautiful shot. But look at this, keeping his feet. And there's this just raw athletic ability, determination. Oh, gee. When do you see that? The last time I saw that, Bavaro was doing for the 49ers about 4 or 5 years ago.
Learned it at Notre Dame.
But this is a beautiful fake by Meyer. Now a nice touch right up over the top. Now this is a backup tight end.
He was hit at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Smith trying to help out. No, I was off by 5. By 10. There's the touchdown. He was hit at the 25, and from the 15 in was carrying Indiana tackler with him.
Well, he had at least 2 on him the whole way.
What a play by Irv Smith.
You've got to give this Tom Beck, the coordinator for Notre Dame, credit on the play calling, because everything's been opportunistic, timed at the right time. Beck was a head coach at Grand Valley State. I'm not sure where that is, but his record was 50-18. So you've got a potential head coach on that staff working with Lou offensively.
Over in the Grand Rapids area, produced Jeff Chadwick to the NFL, Riddick. So Trent Green, who's had his moments, 2 rushing touchdowns, but has thrown 4 pass interceptions. And the Irish are quick to convert.
Well, this is the game where you say you take 5 plays out of it, or 6 plays, or whatever it might be. We'd have been in it, speaking for Indiana, and there's some truth to it.
42-20, and the kick bounces right over Lewis's head. Indiana will play it from the 20-yard line, and from top collegiate action today to the best of the NFL tomorrow. NFL Live kicks it off at 12:30 Eastern Time, and there's our NBC doubleheader lineup. 2 for the price of 1. Pittsburgh and Buffalo, the feature game of the early contest, and in the late games of 49ers and San Diego. San Diego with a new offensive coordinator. The head coach has taken over, Dan Henning, after excusing Ted Tolner. Denver, LA, Jets and Seattle also late games. Be with us tomorrow starting 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific time.
I tell you, that Raider Denver game will be a big one for both clubs.
Vaughn Dunbar gets a chance to hear his number called and picks up 3. DeBose makes the tackle. Let's check Big Ten action. On this day, Boston College still leading favored Michigan by a touchdown in the first period. Iowa has beaten Hawaii 53-10. Hayden Fry's club off to a big start. Arizona has tied Ohio State in the first. And Purdue winning handily against Eastern Michigan. Are they the Hurons or the Eagles? We'll have to clarify that. Used to be the Hurons. Green out of the backfield, complete to his favorite target, Eddie Thomas, and the veteran Thomas from Fort Knox, Kentucky, has an Indiana first down at the 35.
It's so critical now that the Hoosiers just play with poise and just continue to execute. This is the kind of disciplines that Bill Mallory's instilled in them. They just got to play good fundamental football. The score is not a factor because there are 10 games remaining, and thus far they've demonstrated they can be a winner again.
They can certainly move the ball offensively. It's Dunbar. Ooh, little face mask but no flag, and he goes to the 38-yard line. Nick Smith up around the helmet. May have not gotten the bar, but just the helmet itself. You saw Dunbar's head jerk as he's trying, and now within about 5 yards of a 100-yard day against the Irish.
Now the Irish can go to these younger players and find out about them. Not just often enough you find out about a younger player in the second half of the game, and he turns into an ultimate starter as the season progresses. Now they get a chance to look at him.
2nd and 8. Green guns it complete. It's Rod Coleman. He's going to match his entire total from last year. His 9 catches of 90. He has 7 today. 80 yards.
Well, they wanted to improve the pass offense, and they have. 4 interceptions have destroyed Indiana, but on the other hand, they're a much more effective offensive team, being able to throw, and it'll pay off. Maybe it's Kentucky next week, isn't it? So let's see what happens next week, but they're making progress, and they've revamped it, done a good job with it.
Thomas to the right. First down at the IU 47. Green dumps it off to Dunbar. And Dunbar shows his speed and his power again. First down at the Irish 36. Boy, he has quick feet. John Covington in the secondary made the hit.
And good instincts. The way he put that shoulder down, then used his right arm to ward off the tackler. Now, this is good pass protection, good decision by Green. Now, take a look at this talent. First, he knows just where to go with the ball to get every inch out of things. He's going to be a 1,000-yard guy in the NFL, and I'm sure he'll be one again this year here.
1,200 yards last year for Dunbar, and today he has 95 on the ground, and that catch for 17. Merle Harris has replaced Thomas Lewis, who limped off after that play, and Dunbar kicking his way.
Look at that.
Driving to the 22-yard line. Don't forget, Dunbar had a touchdown called back because of a penalty, and he's over the 100-yard mark with that effort.
That's character, the entire team. They're just coming off the ball, and they're playing. They're not worried about the score. As Bill said, play the best you can. Don't worry about scores. That's his philosophy. He preaches it with his team, and that's what he's getting. Good downfield blocking.
4 men had a shot at him before he was finally brought down. 1 minute left in the third. Indiana trailing 42-20. But they moved the ball consistently throughout the day. Dunbar looked a little tired on that effort.
Yeah, he got up slow on the last play, did.
Got 2 yards to the 19.
Might be time for Brett Law to come in here and make one of those quick little runs of his, as he did earlier.
Law, the first drive by Indiana to a touchdown, had a couple of carries, first down on each. 2 yards more for Dunbar's total. This Fort Wayne, Indiana senior.
It's not bad against Notre Dame, 111 yards. Not at all.
16 seconds left in the period. Dunbar again. Big hole. Dunbar to the 7-yard line, and a good hard hit in the open field by Greg Davis. First and goal, Indiana.
Coleman, Schneider, Newton, the right side of the offensive line, sustained their blocks. That gave Dunbar a chance to make a choice as to where he wanted to go.
They'll wind the clock. Final seconds of the period consumed, and that's it. 3 quarters in the books here at Notre Dame Stadium. The Hoosiers trying to strike for another touchdown, but after 3, 42-20, Notre Dame will be back after these messages from your local station.
Monday, it's an NBC special preview when the Fresh Prince shakes up the new season with an... Then you've heard about them all summer. Now watch Mark and Brian do whatever it takes to sing and dance with the Temptations. Mark and Brian, after an all-new Fresh Prince, previewing Monday on NBC.
Is there a rational alternative to the traditional trading floor? Yes. Not having one. NASDAQ, the stock market for the next 100 years.
In Washington, new highway safety regulations are
We are in an era of fierce competition, spanning not just the nation.
For these demanding times, BMW introduces the safest 3 Series ever built, with a near-zero maintenance engine and perfectly balanced handling. The dramatically new 325i. BMW meets the demands of the 90s with its spirit intact.
Need a plumber? You'll find more ads in the C&P telephone yellow pages. But what good is a book full of plumbers when you just need one? Who works at night? Who takes credit cards? Who can come right now? Odds are you'll find the best choice in the book that gives you the most choice. The genuine C&P telephone yellow pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company. Say you needed a room for the night where they take credit cards.
Redskins Report, tonight at 7 on Channel 4.
Dick Enberg with Bill Walsh. John Dockery back at Notre Dame. Thomas Lewis stretching that leg. He limped off the field. Apparently a cramp. Indiana starts this 4th quarter, trailing 42-20, knocking on the door. Notre Dame 7-yard line. On first and goal, Dunbar gets 2.
Well, we can look for the option on the next series, probably that unbalanced line. Notre Dame's bringing people from the outside, and for some reason Indiana isn't finding those guys quick enough, and they're coming in behind the line of scrimmage and making the stop. This happens virtually every short yardage situation. Now they've been working that option play, so let's take a look.
10th play of the drive. 5-yard line of Notre Dame. 2nd and goal.
See, those wide defenders are going to come blitzing across.
Fake to Dunbar. The throw wide open. Touchdown to the fullback, Todd Walker. He caught 9 passes last year as a tight end. No touchdowns. He has his first 6-pointer of this season.
Well done, no question about it. Mallory's brought this team to the mid or up ranges of Big Ten football. His wide receiver released up inside Beatty and sort of walled off the man that would be making the coverage. But it was well called. Good play. I just think this team can be competitive this year with anybody. And what I like, Dick, is the character. They're down by a number of points at Notre Dame, and they keep their poise.
Bunnell's try for a point is good. 10 plays, 80 yards, a little under 4 minutes for the Hoosiers, who have 7 more and are still in it 42-27.
There's a play fake. Nicely done. Ball is thrown, uncovered. Now, Notre Dame's been fooled on these kind of plays too often.
A car is a car, and its sole reason for existence is to get you from point A to point B and back again. It won't make you handsome, or prettier, or younger, and if it improves your standing with the neighbors, then you live among snobs with distorted values. A car is steel, electronics, rubber, plastic, and glass. A machine. And in choosing one, the question should be, how long will it last? How well will it do the job? Could I get a comparable one for less? And do I like the way this machine feels and looks? And in the end, with an absence of marketing glamour about the automobile, may the best machine win. Subaru, what to drive.
Did you know that the most valuable patent ever issued went to a small business owner, Alexander Graham Bell? Since then, AT&T has stayed on the cutting edge of communications. For example, AT&T just invented a new 800 service for small businesses. It uses your existing line and costs only $6 a month. At AT&T, almost half our business comes from small business. When you succeed, we succeed. Call about our 800 offer.
When it gets this hot, you'd better get to Sears.
I hear my battery gets baked.
Only Sears has the Die Hard. In demanding tests for starting power, Die Hard performed 3 times better than industry standards.
This time, I'm getting a Die Hard.
Sears Die Hard battery. More power when you need it most.
Who's going to back it better than Sears?
Notre Dame football is brought to you by Subaru. It's what to drive. By the Die Hard battery, now with more power when you need it most. By AT&T, the right choice. And by Delta Airlines, we love to fly, and it shows.
Back at Notre Dame Stadium, Bunnell kicks it off toward Clint Johnson. Johnson into his own end zone, will take it out. To the 24. And Notre Dame's offense on the field, and we go to John Dockery.
Dick, way back in 1926, Gordon Gilno's dad brought him to his first Notre Dame game. Ticket price was $1.25. They beat Georgia Tech 12-0. 65 years later, Gordon, you're still coming to games. How many have you been to?
This will be my 411th.
411. That's almost half the games Notre Dame's played in their history. Wow. Who's your favorite player, the most exciting one you saw?
Well, I think the Rocket was probably the most exciting. I'd say Johnny Lujack was probably the best all-around player, and Joe Montana perhaps was the best quarterback.
Thank you, Gordon. Let's go back to the game, Dick.
Rodney Culver out to the 50. Before Mark Hagan can make the tackle for Indiana. Johnny Lujack, number 32. He mentioned that was Lou Holtz's hero as he grew up as a kid. Oh, we're going to bring that one back. Against
I'll
the
tell
Irish.
you, the one that made most impression on me, my first game I ever saw, Angelo Bertelli. He was the class of football at his time. You wouldn't remember that, Dick.
Yeah, that's it. Were they?
He was in your graduating class.
Was the touchdown worth 5 points then?
Saw him play against USC in the Coliseum out there, and they won 13-0. What was that? That Stanford had to have a score there.
Penn State 81-0. So Paterno's team, considered by many a real challenge toward a national championship. Boston College has taken a 10-0 lead against Michigan. With the penalty, Notre Dame, instead of the ball out at the 50-yard line, penalized 10 back to the 15. Blake Dawson to the left. Ray Griggs to the right. The tight end Brown on the left side. Bettis and Culver. It's Culver following the block of Bettis. Took short yardage this time out to the 18. Mark Hagan, another tackle for this senior from Carmel, Indiana. He's planning to go on for his NBA. He said he had 3 disc surgeries a couple of years ago. Didn't play in 1988, Hagan, but continues to star. Bright and a leader on his team.
Every down he's in there, too. And he's not a big guy, about 225, 230 pounds. He's in there against a lot bigger, more powerful people. This defense is playing itself out because they're doing everything they can.
There's a first down pass as Meyer, but a flag is down. Able to hit Tony Smith for 21, but are they going to call it back? Apparently. Another holding penalty.
Well, they might as well find out who will tend to do those kind of things. They've got a good lead. Let Meyer unload a little bit. Find out who can pass protect.
Against the offense. Penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
Lou Holtz, 147 pounds of frustration right now. He sleeps about 4 hours a night, he tells us. He said he's not one to stay in the rack too long. He's got too much on his mind, thinking of a new play.
He reminded me of his greatness yesterday, sitting across from him when we visited, just how strong a guy he is for going through all he has this week with his family and with that incident we've heard so much about, which was really nothing.
Here's a give to Bettis, and hit, but breaks out of 2 tackles. 30, 40, and there's a man who runs about a 4.6 40, carrying 250 pounds. First down, Notre Dame, a 40-yard rumble.
That's that trap play the minute that you see Indiana in the 4-man line, the even front. There comes the trap play, and finally a defensive back tried to get a hold of Bettis. He just couldn't hold on to those big thighs.
Well, Charles Beauchamp, 95, you saw had him at the line of scrimmage, but Beauchamp weighs only 230. Bettis with 20 pounds on him and momentum just ripped right out of the tackle.
Well, these Indiana guys have been out there all day and starting to show.
This is Culver. Another first down to the IU 41. Mark Hagan makes the tackle.
I know that Lou Holtz had some concern about Aaron Taylor. He played 7 minutes last year. And Lindsey Knapp, but both these guys have done a fine job today. They've really established themselves as the guys he needed on the left side of that line. Now you see them come off the line, look at number 75, just turn his man and drive him right off the field.
We see the first appearance of Willie Clark, number 32 at tailback. He's the fastest of this Notre Dame backfield, fastest on the team, in fact. Here he goes. And he has about 6 yards to the 35-yard line before Jim Summerall can make the stop.
This is the problem that Indiana has, as Purdue does, as Wisconsin does, Northwestern, Minnesota. These teams just can't get the numbers of players it takes to go 60 minutes against a Notre Dame or a Michigan. And it's really showing up. Just think of putting a Clark into the game with 11 minutes to go. He's fresh, and he's as capable as any back you'll see in college football.
2nd and 3. This is Mahalko. blue-collar fullback, has the first down at the 30-yard line. Paul Williams makes the stop, number 29.
Well, it'll be interesting, Dick, to see if we get a sub at quarterback, because Meyer playing a great game, just being able to come off the field. And how do you pronounce it? Failer?
Paul
Okay,
Thaler, the freshman, yes.
I heard somebody out in the field say Failer. But Failer, now he's another Meyer physically. He's got all the tools as a freshman. Hope we see him.
First down at the 30. Might be changing plays, and the give to Clark. Hole closes, and this time Beauchamp, who has the weight advantage, is able to bring down the 177-pound Clark.
Beauchamp's played his heart out today, and he's coming off the line on the left side. He comes underneath in a stunt. Look at him take on blockers and finally come through. Number 95. 3 people had shots at least slowing him down, and it's just his intensity.
Ask him how he pronounces his name, Bill, and he said, well, I say Beauchamp. That sounds athletic. My father says Beecham. He said, but when I'm talking to the ladies, I kind of like the French pronunciation, Beauchamp. He says, I'm Charles Beauchamp. The injured player is Aaron Taylor, the sophomore from Concord, California. 280-pounder helped off, and Tim Ruddy will replace him.
Ruddy's only 280 pounds.
Excuse me. Yeah, Ruddy is in there. Ruddy, who is the strongest and the brightest on the Irish team. His credentials are quite extraordinary. The give to the big fullback, Bettis. Look at him run to the 3-yard line.
Well, we saw some misses that time. The first, we've gone 15 minutes of football, and the Hoosiers are starting to crack. They're starting to cave in a little bit. We saw some misses here. Here's one. Now they're tackling the big guy. Here's another, and there'll be another. And when these things start to happen, you just want to get the day over with and get out of here, because they're just outgunned at this point in the game.
Bettis has carried 10 times for 101 yards. He's picking up a first time down every time he carries the ball. First and goal as the Irish try to add to the 42-27 lead. The full house backfield. It's Brooks. He has 1 touchdown, and he stopped just a foot shy of his second as Mose Richardson supports Hagan on the tackle. You know, as those scores went rolling by very quickly, you notice that Texas ranked 13th in the preseason polls. Jackie Sherrill, who was at A&M, now at Mississippi State, beats Texas 13-6. There's the upset of the day.
Has to be. It's amazing what he could do in 1 year. Like, well, these opening games, you just can't be sure.
Second and goal. And Meyer dives in. He got enough. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
Just a simple quarterback sneak. You see an excellent job by Gene McGuire. He gets underneath his nose man Williams, and it gives a lot of room for Meyer to just reach over the top.
Well, it's been a big day for Meyer with 3 touchdowns, one of them for 46 yards, the longest in his Irish career. And now Hendrick with a try for point. And Notre Dame has 49.
Meyer is so much like Roger Staubach as a young player. He can run, he can pass, he's quick on his feet and decisive.
There's a level of service with which you're already quite familiar. Only now you can enjoy it at 35,000 feet. Delta's person-to-person service to over 270 cities worldwide. At Delta, we love to fly, and it shows.
can't tell you how it feels when you're way out there on your own tracking the bad guys. How it feels leading a skilled team that's the eyes and ears of the whole outfit. When all your training is coming alive. But finding those tanks and telling the air cavalry right where to hit them, I can tell you exactly how that feels.
Until recently, arthritis was a life sentence. Because of the Arthritis Foundation, more Americans are escaping the pain every day. The Arthritis Foundation, your source for health and hope.
The legend, the heir apparent, and the controversy. O.J. Simpson evaluates the Niners' quarterback situation Sunday on NFL Live, followed by great football action.
Now the Indiana fans have had a chance to cheer today. 49-27, the offense has been powerful enough for the Hoosiers that they've had 9 possessions and have not punted yet. But the defense unable to stop the Irish, who kick it off. And Hendrick booms one deep. Lewis at the goal line. And the sophomore picks his way out to the 24-yard line. Tonight, it's a special Golden Girls Hour on NBC, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, followed by Empty Nest, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Then it's Dear John and America's Favorite Sisters are back. The critically acclaimed drama series tonight at 10 o'clock, 9 Central, only on NBC. So Saturday night date with us.
You know, both these teams are a reflection of their schools and their coaches. Clean, hard-hitting football, sportsmanship. Play the game. The spirit of the game is there. The competition's there. None of the mocking of people or the gesturing to people.
Dunbar, the lone running back. It's Green to throw. Down the middle, incomplete. Had a man open, Eddie Beatty.
Well, Green will get better at doing that. Right now, he's not good enough, but he'll get better. He's got some talent, and he's a good competitor. But those are just errant passes that can get you in deep trouble.
Green threw for 4 touchdowns last year, 7 interceptions. He's been pilfered 4 times today. Notre Dame allowed 22.6 points a game last year. That didn't please Holtz, and they've given up 27 to the Hoosiers today. Dunbar out to the 32, 3 yards shy of a first down. Devon McDonald from Patterson, New Jersey. He'll play against his brother Ricardo, an outside linebacker with the University of Pittsburgh. We'll have that game for you on NBC later this year. There's Devon, 6'4", 240-pound senior.
You know, after a week here in Indiana, people argue that this is the nicest, finest state in the country. I couldn't argue with it. I really couldn't. It's just beautiful. Just a beautiful place, and both these teams playing the way they are.
Third down and a long 3. And he skips that one to Eddie Thomas, who was open. So Green, who has been high most of the day, comes up on one hop to Thomas, incomplete. And for the first time, Indiana will have to punt the football. That means little 53 John Martin and company will come in. Martin is only 5'7". He's with all those behemoths, but he does one thing very well, and that's snap the ball. And he's got set a goal this year, 9 tackles on punts. He'll snap it at Jim DiGiulio with Jeff Burris back at the Notre Dame 30.
And he's right down the middle to see what he does. He's got a good shot. No, fair catch.
Fair catch by
right
Burris,
on top of it.
but there he was, Martin right on top of him. 36-yard punt. Timeout with 8:15 remaining in the 4th quarter here at Notre Dame. The Irish 49, the Hoosiers 27.
A car is a car. It won't make you handsomer, prettier, or younger, and if it improves your standing with the neighbors, then you live among snobs. A car is steel, electronics, rubber, plastic, and glass. A machine. And in the end, may the best machine win.
Subaru. What to drive.
After my accident, they advanced my insurance benefits and built me a ramp and got me back on my feet.
Our people really care. It meant a lot to us.
It was the global telecommunications link-up they built. Saved the negotiation.
You want to rent a car, but your money's tight? Give Hertz a call and they'll treat you right. Hertz Freedom Rates. Put Hertz behind you all the way. Hertz Freedom Rates.
For as little as $19 a day.
3 miles all the way. Free mileage all across the USA with Hertz Freedom Rates. Now everyone can drive America's wheels. Hertz, we're America's wheels.
You want to spend as little as possible, yet still get the most for your money. So where do you go for tires? Your Goodyear retailer. He has a wide selection of tires at prices that are lower than you'd expect for such quality. Computer balanced, installed by experts. Where else could you pay so little for so much peace of mind? Good tires, good service, good people. Goodyear.
Hi, Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland with you from Orlando, Florida. Coming up a bit later, live volleyball here on NBC. Should be a great final, the Miller Lite World Invitational, and two teams we haven't seen yet. Should be exciting.
Looking forward to seeing Karch Kiraly, arguably the best player of all time, against his former teammate of last year, Brent Frohoff. Should be exciting, a little thunder and lightning.
Okay, live pro beach volleyball coming up after football.
All right, we'll stay tuned for that, and we're with one of the great old setters of the game here, Bill.
I did play,
Bill
believe it or
Walsh.
not.
What was your nickname, anyway?
When I played volleyball?
Yeah.
Hickory.
Hickory. Oh, that's good. So we got Hickory, Dickory, and Doc, or something like that.
Well staged, Dick. You're really convincing.
All right, let's go back to the action with Notre Dame with the ball at the 32-yard line. And Reggie Brooks, brother of Tony Brooks, wrapped up by Mark Hagan.
Well, everybody's getting a shot to get in there after all the two-a-days, after the spring practice, losing sleep over whether you're making the team or whether you'll get in the game, and they're all getting their chance now.
So the freshman Paul Pala, who's from Sewickley, Pennsylvania, the home of Seattle coach Chuck Knox, he's tuning up.
I like this guy, and if he can throw a pass or two today, just think of the difference he'll have if he ever did have to play. Here's the reverse.
Tony Smith fumbles the ball, but no Indiana Hoosier around him. He'll have to finally pay the price at the 29-yard line. Matt Eggenholt in on that tackle.
Well, he just took his eye off the ball, looking where to run, and which is typical, especially if you haven't run the play very often. It's all set up. Everybody's going the other way, but now he was looking for defenders rather than taking the ball. Now you're in trouble, deep trouble.
Smith and Dawson are to the left. Irv Smith, the tight end, on the right side. Mahalko at fullback, and Tony Brooks at tailback on 3rd down 13. Myers steps up and throws down the middle. Intercepted. It's Lance Brown of Indiana at the 45, runs into his own man, tackled at the 40 by number 40, Tony Brooks.
Well, now they'll have something to coach Rick on. He had played a flawless game until that play. Now they have something to talk to him about.
So as a collegiate coach, you used to like to think no one's that perfect. You like to be able to say something.
Give me something to coach. I want to get paid for my job. Now he throws it a little bit late, and there's the safety man there. Just went to that kind of play one too many times. I'll guarantee you that Dunbar is getting a workout. Now I don't know how many times he's carried the ball. We can check, but it's got to be way up there. And you're wearing the guy down. That's 29 carries for 136 yards. So at some point there may be a diminishing return here because he can get some stats, but when he's this fatigued, he can have some real problems. Spread out to their left to wide field. He's going to get the ball again. He's going to sleep tonight. Wow. Well, Dunbar should be given a little bit of a rest. And my guess is they're going to come right back to Trent Green and see if they can throw the ball. It would be good for Indiana leaving South Bend to get another touchdown. Really would. A lot of fatigue on the field now.
Green, and finally the microphone works, and out of bounds goes Thomas Lewis, who's had a solid game, this young man from Akron Garfield High School, where he set school records, 120 catches, had 6 interceptions playing on the other side of the ball as a senior. If you check other scores, 3 catches, 51 yards for Lewis today.
See San Jose playing Florida, San Jose State losing 14-7. There's some connection there, I keep remembering.
Yeah, they're very proud of your presence on that campus. Dunbar picking his hole inside the 15 to the 14-yard line.
Again, Rod Coleman, the tight end, was just driving. I think it's McDonald in there, driving him right off the line of scrimmage. Nice job. There are a lot of good things. Just don't have the depth to play the Irish. Just don't have the depth.
But Vaughn Dunbar certainly has underlined why the professional scouts think he is a tremendous talent. Look at those numbers today against the Irish defense. A lot of teams won't rush for that. Really, 49-27. It's Dunbar. A little misdirection for a couple of yards. Pete Bursich, a sophomore from Mokina, Illinois, in on the tackle. He's someone that Lou Holtz has pointed out as being a player that has really improved since last spring. There's Bursich, 6'1" and 225. Ohio State regains the lead. The Orangemen have won. Pittsburgh is 2-0. West Virginia has its first win of the year. 2nd and 9.
They blitzed everybody.
Green throwing for Lewis. Incomplete. Ball hanging, and able to break it up was Covington. Lewis was open forever, but Covington closed, and as the ball arrived, able to knock it away.
Well, Gary Darnell, the defensive coordinator, decided let's just go for it. He brings everybody, leaving single coverage. Now again, that ball might have been thrown earlier, and that's the timing it'll take as the team develops this year. It's all new to Indiana. They're reading defenses, the different formations, but I'm sure that Bill Mallory's really increasing his team's ability to score, and that's what they have to have. But I like to see this team against a weaker opponent. I think they really look much better. Right now, they're just outgunned.
On 3rd down, Dunbar, big hole up the middle, and he crashes close to the first down. I believe he's going to be just shy as Bursich makes the tackle again. It will be 4th and 1.
Now, Bursich this is a fiery guy in practice at Notre Dame. Of all the players, Pete Bursich is the one that seemed to make everybody come alive. Just outgoing, aggressive, and he's an excellent 3rd guy as an inside linebacker. That first sub to go in the game.
Irish fans, let their voices be heard as Indiana sets up 4th and 1, and on the option, they stop Trent Green. It was Greg Davis, the safety man. Well, the Irish guessed right, and Davis and Devon McDonald are there to stop Green. No gain.
Davis right up on the line, coming right down the line of scrimmage in position to stop the quarterback. Now, Green just didn't even see him, didn't even account for him. And so the tackle was a pretty simple process because Green did not even see the man that hit him.
So Indiana gets their first turnover at the intersection. They drive the ball as they have all day long, but on 4th and 1 at the 5, the Irish defense stiffens, and Notre Dame takes over at its 5. Well, it's a matter, Bill, of Lou Holtz as he can perhaps allow the luxury with 4:40 left to think ahead to Michigan, and a schedule loaded with bowl teams from a year ago. Michigan State just down the line, 2 more Big Ten teams. Does he have enough offense to be able to make up for a defense that obviously is going to give up yards, give up points?
Well, I know there's a disappointment. We're aware of the fact that younger and smaller players defensively, no question about it. But certain kinds of plays have hurt the Irish today. Now they won't have problems spotting them. They're the same kind of thing. You start the play one way, the quarterback goes the other way and throws to a crossing receiver. They've just got to clean up on all that stuff. But are they physical enough defensively? It'll be interesting to cover the games. I'll tell you this, though, they have offensive juice. And Tom Beck has helped Lou. Lou's a fine offensive coach, but Beck's come in with some ideas and organizational stuff. Joe Moore, an excellent offensive line coach, and Skip Holtz, who helps you with the receivers, Lou's son. So that part of it will be fine.
Well, the Notre Dame defense holding Indiana for the first time. And it's Brooks gaining 5 out to the 10-yard line. Don't forget tomorrow, NFL Live at 12:30 Eastern Time. Pittsburgh at Buffalo. The Colts play in Miami. Cleveland, New England, the early games. And most of you will see the Chargers at San Francisco as the late game. Denver and the Raiders and the Jets, Seattle. Week 2 of the NFL begins at 12:30. And O.J. Simpson with a look at the Joe Montana situation in San Francisco, or is this going to be the year of Steve Young?
Well, Steve can do it, no question about it. He's got all the talent. He's one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. But, of course, Joe's got that maturity, that leadership.
Brooks dropped just shy of the first down at the 14. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Troy Drake with the tackle.
I'll tell you, that Denver team surprised last week. Now they're going to Los Angeles for the Raiders. Dan Reeves may very well have resurrected that team, which I didn't think was possible. Beat the Bengals, and the Raiders struggle, so that'll be a big game to find out where both teams are going.
Sophomore tight end Oscar McBride is in, number 80. He's on the left side with Derek Brown on the right side of the line on 3rd and 1, and give it to the fullback. And Bettis, he is going to be a threat all season long. How do you stop a man so big who runs so fast? Seems unfair.
The offensive line, he's got 2 big guys inside there, anchored by Gene McGuire. So they're getting contact, and then Bettis just breaking by people.
Lou Holtz is going to bring out some of the starting front 5. A new line in there now. Lance Johnson at center, Tim Ruddy in at guard, and Zadafevsky with Todd Norman and Jordan Holter at tackle.
I like to think he's going to change quarterbacks because his young freshman's going to have to get experience sooner or later. They've got 49 points. Give him a chance to get some field position work, play calling, even have a chance to throw a ball or 2.
Willie Clark tackled by Larry McDaniel after a gain of about 4 out to the Notre Dame 27-yard line. And here comes Kevin McDougal, number 15, the backup quarterback. Actually, there are 3 of them, the freshman Fela, McDougal, and George Foreman, also at quarterback. Foreman played defense last year. So McDougal, the sophomore from Pompano Beach, Florida, at the controls, number 15. He threw 2 passes all of last season. He hands off to Clark. Short yardage to the 29. Tackled by Troy Drake again.
I'll tell you another guy, another 2 men that are really relieved after this game. That's one, Mike Seaman, the senior manager. Mike Seaman, the senior manager for Notre Dame, who handles all the peripheral and organizational things related to the team. He's a senior in college, an undergraduate, has over 100 people working for him in the football program itself. Now, Mike thinks that this is the best Notre Dame team he's seen since he's been here. But that job is a very, very important one. And
I see the give to Reggie Brooks, who had enough power to break tackles and enough speed to turn the corner. First down at the 35. Reggie, the younger brother of Tony, 2 years younger, out of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
But the senior manager in the college football is often the guy that's the most successful upon graduation, sort of an entrepreneur kind of guy. But organizing people and being there and the time he spends, that whole group of people, male and female, that support the team day to day.
McDougal hands off to Reggie Brooks, and there's Mark Hagan again with a tackle, and Greg Farrell, the Hoosiers' top two hitters, and they collaborate on that side. McDougal out, and Matt Johnson comes in at quarterback. He's from Kokomo, Indiana. A walk-on. And Indiana has called a timeout with 1:23 remaining in the game. And right after our broadcast, we hope you'll stay tuned for the Miller Lite World Invitational Pro Beach Volleyball Championships from Walt Disney World in Florida. 8 countries, the United States included, $100,000 in prize money. And a sport that really is ideal for television, isn't it? I've often wondered why it hasn't been more popular, especially when you enjoy it in the Olympic Games, and you'll be able to enjoy the top pros right after our coverage today from South Bend, Indiana.
Well, you get right up so close to that game. There is so much skill to it.
Well, Rockne built this palace in 1930 and actually only had one of his teams play here before he was tragically killed in an air crash in 1931, and that team won the national championship, went undefeated in 1930. And this stadium remains as a tribute to that great name, Rockne, and the Notre Dame tradition. What a sight today. The bright blues in the sky and the greens, dark blues of Notre Dame and greens of the fans, the crimson of the Hoosier fans.
Well, both campuses are absolutely beautiful, beautiful places.
Here's the walk-on quarterback, and he has rudely greeted Matt Johnson by Mike Middleton. George Foreman, number 4, comes in now. So just as you might have thought, Bill, Lou Holtz is going to give all of his quarterbacks a chance to at least run the club for a couple of plays, and Indiana calls another timeout with 1:11 remaining.
Well, Indiana wants to try, I guess it's 2-minute offense, if you'd call it that, or it's the last few plays if they can get a possession somehow. They're going to just continue to compete as they'd planned.
Foreman comes into the game, as we talked about him last year in the Orange Bowl. He wears that shield over his eyes. He was born with only one eye. He's from Palatine, Illinois, played quarterback in high school, then made a defensive back by Lou Holtz, and then, not knowing what the backup situation would be behind Meyer, he wanted to develop a veteran, a seasoned player at quarterback. So Foreman in his senior year moves back on offense. We've not seen Fela yet, but in talking with Lou Holtz, he's the man that Holtz feels will be groomed to be the quarterback should Meyer be injured in a big game. But each of these quarterbacks you're seeing now play a particular role. Foreman's the kind of man who can run a club, read a defense, run the football well, not the passer of some of the others. So Foreman on 3rd down and long, and he's going to run it. And he's twisted out of bounds, shy of the 1st down at the 43. So the Irish will have to punt it away. Jim Summerall made the tackle.
Well, those are the kinds of things if Foreman played, he'd do. If Meyer, for some reason, couldn't play, Foreman could run those sprint-out runs and be more of a running threat than a passing threat.
Well, our thanks to John Gonzalez, our director, our producer David Michaels today, Jim Daves and John Decker, Notre Dame and Indiana folks here helping us in the booth, along with Elliot Cal, Ross Schneiderman with some research. It's been a delight to open up this season at Notre Dame, and we hope you'll join us for our 5 other encounters here at Notre Dame Stadium during the course of the year. Hedrick, his 3rd punt of the day, and delay of game as the Irish hoping the Hoosiers might jump offside.
Delay the game, 5 yards.
Lou Holtz not happy about that penalty. Kick the ball, he shouts.
We can get him instantly.
But I'll tell you, when we looked across from him yesterday, when he was going through all those trials, well, he looked me right in the eye, and you can tell he's really got control and command. And at that point, I reminded myself he's a great coach.
Hendrick on a fake. Complete to the 40, the 30, and to the 20, and out of bounds goes Greg Davis, the strong safety.
Well, you know, people would quarrel with that, say they're pouring it on. And they are, in a sense. But they want to show that pass. Because now, when they play Michigan State, Michigan, all the Southern Cal, these other teams, they know that there's always the potential of a pass, and they've got it on tape. And so there's a distinct reason for Lou Holtz doing it.
And I would guess, knowing Holtz now, he will just try to run out the clock. He won't try to score again. He wanted to show the play.
He wanted to show that. And as a coach, I failed to do that. I think of it going into games and be a little bit hesitant to go ahead and use that. But that's an excellent idea to go ahead and show that for the next 10 games and a bowl game.
Now you got to practice against
People will know it's possible.
Paul Fela, the freshman from Sewickley, Pennsylvania, an outstanding baseball player. Kansas City Royals offered him a lot of money. See, there he goes. He kneels down, so that's exactly what Holtz had in mind. Indiana fans booed, and as a fan, probably you would have too if you were on their side of the field. But there was a message by Holtz, thinking a game, a season ahead by using the fake punt.
No question.
Timeout was called, and Holtz did not want that to happen. There's Fela, number 7, and it might have been called by Indiana. Let's see. Apparently that is the case. Indiana called time. That's their last timeout.
Well, you know, Dick, you just won't be willing to try to block a punt as long as you know Notre Dame is checking things out with that pass-off punt formation. It's that simple. And you rarely have the luxury of doing this unless the game's fully under control.
Fela, his dad, is the team physician for the Pittsburgh Pirates. The quarterback controls now. Let's see if he just kneels down again. No, going to hand it off.
Oh, gets a chance. There it is, his first play.
Gets his uniform dirty with the clock ticking. John Miller made the tackle, and for Indiana, a team that has been brought to football respectability by their coach, Bill Mallory, they certainly have played respectably here against Notre Dame today, especially on offense.
No question about it. These guys came to play. They had a plan. They played their hearts out. We've heard that before, but Bill's going to have a good year. He knows that. He's got a good team. Just don't have the depth. Very few people do have the depth that Notre Dame does. Both teams very well coached.
Meyer with a handoff. Final play of the game. Notre Dame has its first win of the season. Bill Mallory's Hoosiers beaten 49-27. And today's Chevrolet players of the game: Rick Meyer of Notre Dame, Vaughn Dunbar from Indiana University. In conjunction with this program, Chevrolet will contribute $2,000 to the National Association of Student Financial Aid Administrators for disbursement to deserving college students so they may continue their education. John Dockery.
Dick Enberg, thank you. Lou, after all that's happened this week, this must be a really satisfying win for you.
Well, at Notre Dame, that sort of goes with the territory, I guess. I'm happy for the players. You know, they've worked awful hard, and we beat an awful good Indiana team. They are very well prepared. We had a lot of problems on defense, trying to adjust to different formations. We didn't always make good adjustments, but the players competed.
Saw some flashes of brilliance. You said this will be a good team before it's over.
I think I like the team. They play hard. They care about one another. There were a lot of good plays. We beat a very good football team, and we're very humbled by our win, but we're thankful to get it.
Good luck to your son. We hope he has a full and complete recovery.
Well, thank you. He's in the cardiac care center now, and I'm going to go see him, and we love him.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Dick, back to you.
So the Notre Dame players, as tradition would dictate, come to this corner of the field to raise their helmets and thank the student body for their support. The opening day is a win over a Big Ten team, 14 in a row, an unprecedented march by Notre Dame against Big Ten opponents, and they get another chance again next week in the 3 weeks that follow. Stay tuned for Gail Gardner and Notre Dame Saturday post-game report. All the scores after these messages from your local stations.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. Come fly the friendly skies.
I'm getting a really bad feeling.
We need your help.
It ain't natural.
you're unbelievable.
Erie, Indiana premieres Sunday, September 15th on NBC. It's not just a town, it's a trip.
And I'm going down. Anybody want more shrimp?
Yeah, I'll do another plate.
I was full after 2 refills. Where's he putting it all? I'm proud to be witnessing this. He's an artist. Okay, how many for the record? The man loves Sizzler shrimp. He likes the sirloin, too. It is a pleasure to watch this man eat. Okay, this has to be the last one.
Sizzler steak and all-you-can-eat golden fried shrimp. When we say all-you-can-eat, we mean all-you-can-eat.
I think the man is going for a personal best. Sizzler.
Come to the Isuzu Invitational, and you might discover that you're a stylish person. The Isuzu Stylus XS. It matches sleek sportiness with the safety of a standard driver's side airbag. Best of all, it's now up to $1,700 less. Get great savings on a sporty Isuzu Impulse, too. Only during the Isuzu Invitational, the perfect time to compare and save.